Time for more Higurashi. Hopefully it's the end. That would be nice. Sad stuff happened. People are dead. Shion's losing her mind. She's going crazy.
What? Michan, you didn't get much sleep either, did you? Did you?
Yeah, I went to bed at like 3. I'm a little tired.
Three? You can't keep staying up late. You probably read the first volume of a manga, thought it was interesting, and then read the entire series, didn't you? I understand. I've done that before.
So have I.
What? Wait, is it about the mirror? He still hasn't been found?
Nope. I went to the Fude Shrine to join the youth group and they searched for the mayor. Since I knew there was no way he'd be found, it was really boring for me. Well, just enduring sleepiness wasn't that bad. Not if you consider that Kimiyoshi had to go through since last night. He had been hanging from the ceiling and couldn't even fall asleep or sit down since he was staying on the tiptoes the whole time. The teacher explained to us that the mayor had gone missing and asked us if we knew anything. A couple of people said some things, but they were irrelevant. To me, this issue meant nothing, but it was all my classmates were talking about. He observed Keiichi Marabata. I had no idea if any type of danger was drawn closer to him. Maybe I'd call him again tonight, pretending to be Shion. I told him some outrageous stuff last night, so he panicked. I was sure he'd calm down after a day. At that time, I heard a little girl's laughter. It's Rika. Rika Fude, the last survivor of the Fude family and their current head. However, she wasn't really treated as one. During the family council, she often draw pictures or take naps in the hag's bed. She wasn't even invited to last night's meeting. It was hard to believe that such a little girl was responsible for part of the curse's system. However, even though she wasn't in a respected position as the head of the Fude family, there were plenty of old people who worshipped her as the reincarnation of Otoshiro-sama. I'd heard from someone that Rika Fude was rather odd. Seemed to behave as if she knew she was that reincarnation. Maybe Takano-san had told me that at the library when she was alive. When Rika Fude became worried about something, the elderly people who worshipped her would make arrangements. It's very similar to the Sonozaki family, and it was also the same system as used for the curse. I wonder, does Rika Fude know anything about the deaths of Takano-san and Tomotake-san? What does she think of people sneaking into the ritual storehouse? Does she know who snuck in and what happened to those people? As the one managing the storehouse, it's possible she knows the intruders first. In fact, she was the only one who could have noticed it. She must have passed on that information, which is why the curse was executed. No, she couldn't. She was in the middle of her ritual at that time. She wouldn't have known. That foolish Keiichi turned the light on when he went into the ritual storehouse. A light switch could have been connected to some kind of alarm. Rika Fude, the leader of the Fude family, maybe getting to know her would be a good idea. As the leader of the Fude family, how much do you know about the incident? I asked her rather directly. It was hard to tell if she understood I was asking her in place of Sonozaki family head instead of as Mion Sonozaki.
Are you talking about Tomotake and Takano?
Rika answered. The news hadn't been made public, yet she knew about it. Although she looked immature, perhaps she was truly the head of the Fude family.
That's the curse of Otoshiro-sama.
I already know that. But it's not over yet, is it? There should be 2 more. Have you heard about what will happen to them? I tried to be vague, to see how Rika Fude would react. I had been thinking that she had nothing to do with the underside of Hinamizawa, since she was always treated like a child. However, Rika had just said things about the incident which normal people shouldn't know about. That's proof that she belonged to the underside's network.
I don't think that matters anymore.
She answered the question about Tomotake-san and Takano-san fairly quickly, but took a little longer to answer this time. She had to think about it. Shit, the look on her face never changes. It's impossible to figure out what she's thinking. What do you mean? How can they get away with what they've done?
I think if they feel bad about what they've done, that should be fine.
Her response was unexpected, especially after seeing all the old people get so furious last night. The trespass in the ritual storehouse was blasphemous against Otoshiro-sama. The village elders had said those intruders deserved to die. Yet the leader of the Fude family, who protected the sacred storehouse for ritual implements, said that if they felt remorse for it, then it was fine. I recall how people thought of Rika Fude's father during the dam conflict. Yes, her father was called an opportunist back then. He didn't agree with the Onigafuchi Guardians, who resisted violently against the conflict. Like father, like daughter. I aggressively grabbed Rikafude by the collar. Huh? What the heck are you talking about? You're pretty stupid, just like your predecessor, aren't you? The Fude family must understand better than anybody how sacred the ritual storehouse is. How could the head of that family say such a thing? I laughed at myself. I told the same thing by someone else and was now saying it to Rika. Don't you know how serious a crime trespassing in the ritual storehouse is?
It's a very important place for Odoshiro-sama, so nobody can go in without permission.
See, you know that. But those 4 people brought their filth in there.
What bad kitty cats? Meow.
That's right, bad cats. 2 cats have been caught and punished. There are 2 more.
Meow.
How do you think they should be punished? Tell me your opinion as the head of the Fude family. Rika didn't usually wear any expression whatsoever, making it impossible to tell what she was thinking. But while I grabbed her by the collar and stared at her, I could tell somehow. Rika was a little disturbed, since she was trying to see what I was thinking in turn.
I want to forgive those 2 kitty cats.
Why should they get away with what they've done?
Me? What are you trying to say?
That's a good question, so let me explain. Those 2 must offer compensation for what they've done. They have to clear away their sins. Otherwise, Odoshiro-sama won't stop being angry. Every crime must be punished appropriately. Do you understand?
Odoshiro-sama doesn't get angry even if someone enters the storehouse.
Huh? What are you saying?
The reason why nobody is allowed to see the ritual in the storehouse is because there's too many scary tools in there. I'm sure people would get scared if they saw them. That's why we don't let people in there. I'm sure those intruders are scared too. I'm sure they feel bad about what they've done.
They're forgiven once they feel bad about what they've done? It's not for you to decide. That's what Odoshiro-sama decides.
I'm the Shrine Maiden of Odoshiro-sama, don't you know?
Of course I do. You aren't telling me that Odoshiro-sama told you he isn't angry, are you? Rika nodded yes without hesitation. I can't believe the lie she's coming up with. I'm not surprised. I'm shocked. Huh? That's why your parents died of the curse 2 years ago. Odoshiro-sama was angry because they didn't deserve to serve him. That's why he cursed your father.
Odoshiro-sama would never do that. My father didn't die because of the curse of Odoshiro-sama.
Bah! I'm really talking the last shrine maiden of the Fude family. Obviously, Odoshiro-sama can't be at peace. You're supposed to worship Odoshiro-sama. How pathetic.
I don't know why you're so angry, me.
I realized she wasn't in a position to know as much as the other 2 family heads. As proof, she talked about this year's incident as though it was nothing. Yet she could feign ignorance with a serious face. She sure is something. She's even better than me. I slapped her a few times and pushed her to the floor. Rika, having tumbled downward, looked up at me with tears in her eyes. This all happened because you wanted to change the storehouse's lock to something that was easier for you, right?
That's true. The old one was too heavy, so I talked to Kimiyoshi, and he changed it to a cheaper, lighter one.
If you left the heavy lock on, maybe that would have prevented them from trespassing. This is your fault, too. Don't you forget that. Of course, the Kimiyoshi family, who actually changed the lock, is responsible for this, too. The last part was something I added on a whim. I added it to connect Rika's story to the disappearance of Kimiyoshi. I wanted to pressure her psychologically by doing so. The head of the Kimiyoshi family had to pay for his crime. That's why he disappeared. The head of the Fude family has to pay for her crime too, you know. Rika was still on the floor, tears pouring down her cheeks. Keiichi Maribata is the last one left. I suppose the Fude family will take care of him.
I don't know anything.
You don't need to know anything, do you? You just have to look worried. That's all it takes. It's how it is at our house too. Anyway, good luck.
I don't...
Rika hung her head. She seemed to want to say something, but she was afraid that I might be rough with her again. I doubted Rika Fude was actually at the top of the curse system like the hag was. However, as one of the 3 family heads, she was a lot closer to the underside of Hinamizawa than I was. By now, the underside was well aware of Keiichi Maribata. I told the elderly leaders of the village yesterday in the meeting that the Keiichi Maribata was the last one remaining. I just told the head of the Fude family the same thing, if threateningly. If my threat was effective, the curse of Odoshiro-sama would very soon fall upon Keiichi Maribata, and at just the right time I would grab my enemy right as he took my bait. If the assassin came from the Fude family, this girl would have committed the same sin as the hag. When that time came, I wouldn't hold back. I was going to make sure she suffered, and then kill her. I've heard of a torture technique where you pound dozens of nails into a victim's fingers. I already found a restraining table and tools for it. When the time comes, I'll pound nails into your fingers. That gruesome anticipation radiated into my eyes and scared Rika even further. Jesus, Shion! Step back, honey. I wonder how Kimiyoshi's doing. I doubt he died from tiptoeing all night, but sometimes a human can go so very easily. He already told me everything I wanted to hear, and he didn't know anything else anyway. On top of that, he was responsible for spreading the infection that was the curse system of Otoshiro-sama. The sins are very heavy. I really liked Tango Kimiyoshi. He had always been kind. The hag was so tough on her relatives, and that's why he was so extra nice to me. When we talked yesterday, I was so happy to hear him say he would forgive Shion. He even said he would fight the hag to save her. That made me very happy. Don't worry. If Shion-chan feels bad about what she has done, she won't be demoned away. Leave it to me. I felt such warmth inside of me. I almost shivered. I was so happy. Yet so very sad. For he continued to say that Satoshi-kun deserved to die. He said those nice things because he wanted to make me unhappy. And she was worried about Shion. Satoshi-kun deserved to die because he was a member of the cursed Hojo family. But Shion-chan and the Sonozaki family did not. That's what he meant. In other words, the leaders of the village, including Kimiyoshi, members of the Hojo family, were more contemptible than insects. They didn't care if they lived or died. Their sin was not only that they despised the Hojo family, but that they had let the hatred infect the rest of the village. Therefore, everybody in the village deserves to be a victim of the curse of Otoshiro-sama. Kimiyoshi and the others created an environment that excused murder in that name. If that was so, if Takano-san and Tomotake-san hadn't committed the serious crime, trespassing in the ritual storehouse, and Sadako Hojo, the last survivor of the Hojo family, and Teppei Hojo, who had been hiding in Okiyamiya, might have been the victims. Sadako Hojo. She was always around Satoshi-kun. She expected Satoshi-kun to help her every time she cried. She was one of the people who cornered him. Sadako wasn't that much of a burden. Satoshi-kun would have killed his aunt. Somebody told Satoshi-kun to commit that murder, and to hide the evidence of his connection. Hide his connection to the mastermind. Satoshi-kun was demoned away. That's what Oshi thought. If Satoshi-kun hadn't killed his aunt, maybe he wouldn't have been chosen as last year's victim. Because the commands were vague after all, the curse of Otoshiro-sama fell upon the Hojo family as a whole. It didn't matter which member of the family died. His aunt had a terrible reputation in the neighborhood. She didn't communicate with her neighbors. She was always throwing fits. There was nothing nice about her in any way. Even if Satoshi-kun didn't kill her, the curse would have fallen upon her sooner or later. Their aunt was the first victim. There needed to be another Hojo to claim the curse. Call him the curse. Bark! According to the rumor, their uncle was living somewhere in Okiyamiya with his lover. However, Okiyamiya was a little different from Hinamizawa. The Sonozaki family was powerful there as well, of course, but it would have been more difficult in Okiyamiya to demon someone away. Game, now's not the time to be silly. So naturally, Satoshi-kun and Satoko, who were still in Hinamizawa, became the targets. Which one should be cursed? That was simple. Satoko, of course. She was snobby and lacking in manners. Everyone in the neighborhood liked Satoshi-kun, even if he was the son of the Hojo couple who betrayed the village during the dam conflict. Compared to Sadako, he didn't deserve to die. Therefore, the actual victims of last year's curse should have been his aunt and Sadako. Satoshi-kun was suddenly all alone. His mean aunt and mean uncle were gone. His sister, who was a burden to him all his life, was gone too. Satoshi-kun was such a nice person. He would be sad, although he'd realize he was finally free. But time would heal him. I'd even help. He didn't have to live in his house in Hinamizawa. There were plenty of empty rooms in the apartment block where I lived. I could find him a part-time job, too. He didn't need to go to school in Hinamizawa. He could go to school with me in Okiyamiya instead. He wouldn't know his way around, or really anything about the school there. So I'd be with Satoshi-kun all the time. I'd show him a shortcut to school. We'd go shopping. I'd teach him many different things. What an unbelievably happy ending. Satoshi-kun had been suffering so much, and I had been pushing away all my life. But we could finally be happy. I enjoyed these sweet delusions, but I didn't have any more time to waste. I was sure there were plenty of old people who had been trying to get a hold of Onryu all morning, and who were going to try and catch me after I got home from school. Actually, the phone had been ringing constantly while I enjoyed my happy thoughts. When I answered the phone, I casually listened and replied. As I planned, Keiichi Maribata was now known as the next curse victim with the underside of Hinamizawa. I also tried to let them know that the disappearances of the village chief had something to do with the fact that he changed the lock on the ritual storehouse door. All the authorities on the underside came to realize the seriousness of trespassing in the storehouse. After all, one of the heads of the three families got punished. One of the phone calls was from Oshi. He also heard about Kimiyoshi's disappearance, and he knew it had something to do with changing of the lock. I'm impressed. He has some pretty good sources. But all he can do is watch whatever information he can get. There's no way for him to find out where it's coming from. I'd call Keiichi Marabara again later tonight. Some of the more aggressive villagers may have already started to take action upon him. I'm sure that by now, Keiichi is feeling the danger that's coming towards him. I have to be careful that he doesn't get killed easily. If I can catch the enemy before they bit Keiichi, I could use him again as bait. Keiichi Marabara. I haven't known him for that long. He's funny, if not intelligent. He'll never play Satoshi-kun, but I do think he's fun to be around. There's just one thing I don't like about him. He rubs my head far too often. His hand is warm as Satoshi-kun's hand, which is why I can't stand it, but that's about it. Keiichi Marabara isn't Satoshi-kun's enemy. I don't hate him. He's fun to be around, but I wouldn't shed a tear for him if he became a victim of the curse. I won't prevent Keiichi Marabara from being killed, but I won't kill him myself either. I made arrangements for the curse to fall upon him, but I never told anyone to kill him. Well, I suppose I did tell Rika Fude to take care of Keiichi Marabara. Wait a minute. To avenge Satoshi-kun. I'm doing exactly the same thing as the hag did. I'm using the exact same system that killed Satoshi-kun. Keiichi Marabara. I'm just using him. I told people to let the curse fall upon Keiichi, but I've been giving him appropriate warnings. I'm going to help him if he tries to live. If I catch all of my enemies, maybe I'll let him loose. He's different from Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun was tricked into killing his aunt and was killed himself afterwards, so there wouldn't be any evidence remaining. I won't kill Keiichi Marabara. That's how I'm different from the hag. Evening was turning to night. I had to get dinner ready. I had to eat so I'd have enough strength to take revenge. What a reason to like make sure you take care of yourself. It's like, I can't take revenge if I'm hungry.
Certainly is an interesting motive to take care of herself.
Yeah. This place was far from town. It would even get isolated during winter because of the snow. It's unusual for the house to have at least 2 or 3 refrigerators. There were plenty of groceries left in them. I was glad I didn't have to go grocery shopping. You'd hear the chorus of the Higurashi. People often say that the sound of Higurashi brings back memories, but for me it's the exact opposite. I've only ever heard the sound of Higurashi in Hinamizawa. Therefore, the sound of Higurashi to me is Hinamizawa. The sound reminded me that I wasn't supposed to be here, that I couldn't be here. That was when I heard the doorbell. Because there was a good distance between the house and the gate, there's both a doorbell and an intercom by the ladder. It has a security camera too. Something as modern as a security camera monitor in this old-fashioned kitchen looked really strange. I turned the switch, but nothing appeared on the monitor. Tried to check the plug, but there was a bunch of cords going behind the fridge, so I couldn't even do that. The doorbell continued to ring while I tried to figure out if the monitor was broken or if I just didn't know how to turn it on. And I only felt like answering the door depending on who it was. It'd normally be easy to pretend to be out, but that wouldn't help me. I was waiting for my enemies to show up. I couldn't just hide myself in that case. The hag was supposed to be sick and in an extremely bad mood. I had already sent word out that she didn't need to see anyone. So who should it be? I made up my mind and turned the intercom on. If it was someone I wanted, I'd just turn whoever it was away. But I had to act normally so I wouldn't arouse suspicion. I had to act normally. Act natural! Hi! Yes?
Hi, I'm a crazy murderous lady.
I'm going slowly crazy. My name is Shion. Someone's like, shit! Yes, who is it? Hello. She didn't tell me her name, but I recognized her voice. Rika-chan, what are you doing here at this time of day? I ran out of soy sauce, so could you share some with me? Soy sauce? I almost screamed, but I controlled myself. I took a moment to think about the situation. Hinamizawa is far from most stores, so sometimes neighbors would share seasonings and stuff with each other. The village sometimes gets snowed in during winter, but the Furude shrine is quite far from this house. It's rather odd for her to come all the way here on her bicycle just to get some soy sauce. Maybe she was using it as an excuse. Maybe there's something she wanted to talk to me about. That's when I noticed the piece of paper that was on the refrigerator door next to the intercom. We still have plenty of homemade soy sauce in the stock. Feel free to come to the Sonozaki house if you want some. The hag must have given the flyer to everyone. One of our relatives sent her a barrel of soy sauce. If you want some, bring a container. That's what the flyer says. Let's see. This would explain it. There was a handwritten note on the bottom of the flyer. The soy sauce is in the storage area under the floor. Give them as much as they want. There's a storage area beneath the floor. When I opened it, I saw a barrel of soy sauce alongside a funnel and a ladle. I didn't want Rika to notice anything suspicious at this point. I decided to share the soy sauce with her. Sure. Did you bring a container?
I brought a soy sauce bottle.
Okay. Come on in. I'll be at the front door. As I head there, I heard the doorbell ring again.
Me. The gate is locked from the inside. I can't open it.
Ah, that's right. Sorry. I'll be right there. Just hang on. People didn't pay much attention to safety around here in Hinamizawa. People didn't think too much about locking the doors. As someone who lives in a town, I've always locked everything. To let Rika Fude in, I'd have to go outside.
Good evening.
Good evening. Rika smiled at me. She was holding a huge soy sauce bottle. She acted like I never yelled at her, got violent with her, or made her cry all day today. Or perhaps she came to curry favor, thinking that she angered me. I invited Rika to the front door. I told her to wait a moment and try to take the bottle. But Rika took her shoes off and walked into the house with the bottle in her hands. Don't worry, I'll get it for you. Why don't you wait there?
I'm pretty good at pouring soy sauce into the funnel, you know?
She looked at me as if begging. I guess she wanted to pour the soy sauce into the bottle herself. I didn't want her to come in the house, but I suppose I didn't want her to wait there alone either. If she came to the kitchen with me, I could keep my eyes on her. And so I brought Rika to the kitchen. We walked down the hallway. I only heard my footsteps. I stopped suddenly and turned around to make sure Rika was following me. Rika bumped into me.
Meep.
Ah, sorry. I made sure she was right behind me and started walking again. Tap, 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 tip, tip, tip. Tip, tip, tap, tap. Rika must be having fun matching her footsteps to mine. And when I quickly sped up, our footsteps matched perfectly. Tap, 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 tap. Tip, 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 tip. Tap, tap, tap. Tip. I stopped suddenly.
Tip, 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 tip.
Rika stopped suddenly too after taking an extra step. When I turned around, Rika smiled at me. Our footsteps matched perfectly, and when I stopped suddenly, I heard her extra step. I've experienced such footsteps before. It's making me feel uncomfortable. But now, although her footsteps sounded the exact same as the other ones I experienced, I saw her when I turned around. That was the difference between them. I left the storage room door open, so we could see the soy sauce barrel. Mama said she could take as much as she wants, but I wasn't sure there was enough left. I crouched down and tried to open the lid of the soy sauce barrel. But when I crouched down, I could hear Rika's extra step. Good, there's plenty left. Take as much as you want. When I turned around, Rika was very close to me. But, who was this? I saw Rika, but it wasn't Rika at all. It was like I switched with my sister. The outside was the same, but the inside was different. Did Rika have a twin sister? I was confused for a moment. That was when Rika sprayed something of a small bottle into my eyes. Huh? I felt a terrible pain in my eyes, and suddenly tears poured out and my nose started to run. I couldn't stop sneezing either. Pepper spray! I stumbled around, covering my face, and realized I was attacked. I shut my eyes tightly for a moment and then opened them again. Rika was about to grab my hair to drag me down to the floor. When Rika saw me open my eyes, she sprayed at me again. I shut my eyes to avoid the spray, but my nose still breathed in the substance. I avoided the pain in my eyes, but the tears, the runny nose, and the sneezing continued. Shit! Ah! My brain isn't working quickly enough. However, when I finally understood that I had been attacked by Rika Fude, my brain started to grind into motion. Rika Fude knocked me on my back and got on top of me. I tried to escape from her by rolling onto the kitchen floor. As I rolled, I hit an oven, a huge jar, and destroyed a pile of something on the floor as I fought back. But Rika didn't let go of me. She stayed on top and restrained me. She was sitting on my stomach, and I felt intense pain and pressure. She sure could fight well. I still couldn't see anything. Rika had the upper hand, my eyes were shut, and I was in real danger. As I tried to blink, I saw Rika's expression. I didn't know Rika Fude all that well. I only knew her from the few times we met when I went to school as Mion, and from the times I had heard from other people. But as far as I knew, there was no way Rika Fude could ever do something like this. This is just impossible, impossible, impossible. No, I couldn't fill my head up with that word. I had to calm down and figure out what to do next. Shit, I'm too much of a mess to even think! I tried to peek at her face again. She still had the spray bottle in one hand. What I didn't expect was the thing in her other hand. How could I mistake it for anything else? It was definitely a syringe. When Rika realized I regained my eyesight, she aimed the spray ball right at me and let loose with it. I shut my eyes tightly and tried to ignore the pain. But that was when, even though I was blinded, Rika made a miscalculation. She had sprayed at me with such close distance that she inhaled the substance as well. I heard Rika sneeze and realized it was my chance. Even if I couldn't see, I knew she was right there. I hit Rika's face a few times. When I felt Rika's weight shift, I escaped. Then I got my stun gun ready. Rika must have inhaled just a little of the spray. She wasn't sneezing anymore, but was glaring at me instead. Hey! You picking a fight with me? You want me to wreck you? Rika's expression didn't change, but I was sure she was disappointed that her sudden attack was a failure. Rika flinched just a little, but she was still holding the spray bottle and aiming it at my eyes. She was trying to use the spray first, and then give me the shot. I didn't know what was in that syringe, but it was a clear liquid. It had to be something bad. She wanted to take my eyesight, get on top of me, and give me the shot. If whatever it was in the syringe took a while to take effect, I might have the chance to fight back and seriously injure Rika. But Rika's surprise attack told me that just being injected was more than enough. In other words, whatever the effect, it would start to work immediately. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to fight back against her. It'd probably either knock me out or kill me. In any case, I was equally deadly. Prepare to get wrecked! My stun gun was very powerful. Just one shot would be all it took. What happened before was proof of its power. Rika knew my stun gun was a lot more powerful than her spray. She was being extremely cautious. Hey, what do you think you're doing in my house, huh? If you aren't moving, then I'll come to you. Threw a pile of newspapers at her. The pile wasn't tied together, so the newspapers flew all over Rika. I jumped at her immediately after, shoved my stun gun into her, and pulled the trigger. Rika spasmed and fell to the floor. Fool. Hesitating in a fight where a single blow wins. Only amateurs just glare at each other. You didn't have a single clue about how advantageous the first strike is when a single blow can decide everything. The spray bottle rolled onto the ground, but she still had the syringe. Rika was down, but I couldn't let my guard down either. I kicked her in the side and clambered on top of her. I took the syringe, held Rika's arm down, and gave her the shot. My actions could hardly be called gentle. I injected her violently. Injected everything that was in the syringe. Rika began to convulse. I stood back and watched for what would happen to her body. Of course, I still had my guard up. While I assumed that the drug would incapacitate her immediately, I didn't know exactly what kind of reaction she would have. Look at you! Did you really think you could defeat me? Think again! After a few more convulsions, Rika unsteadily got to her feet. That's ridiculous. How could she even stand? I looked at my stun gun. Damn it! The power was on the lowest setting! Maybe it had been readjusted while we were rolling around on the floor. Changed the setting to maximum. Rika turned pale and started sweating all over. I didn't know its exact effects, but if Rika had given me the shot, I'd be the one experiencing her symptoms. She looked really sick. So obviously she had been feeling awful too. She couldn't even focus. She was very wobbly and had her hand on the wall. She had lost her balance, and it must have been hard for her to even stand. She didn't look so brave anymore. Rika wobbled some more, and moaned as if she were about to throw up. Honey. Rika looked scared as she moaned and wobbled, but at the same time she looked kind of funny too. Certainly she hadn't even dreamed she'd be getting the shot herself. As the man sows, so shall he reap. That's what you get. This is funny, so funny, but please don't throw up here. Go to the bathroom, okay? I'm going to enjoy how long it'll take for you to die. Oh, but that means I can't torture you later, huh? I've been planning to use the nail table on you. So either you choke on your own vomit and die, or I pound nails into all 10 of your fingers. I wonder which it will be. Okay, I know. Let's move to the underground shrine storage. I'll put you to sleep so I can move you there, okay? I walked up to Rika, my stun gun making popping sounds. When Rika saw the sparks from the stun gun, she moved to grab a huge kitchen knife. Oh, are you still trying to fight? That makes things more fun. I have so much I want to ask you. I would suggest you back down. Well, actually, even if you do, you'll go through the same misery anyway. Sorry, but I refuse that invitation, you torture maniac. What she said wasn't anything I'd expected to hear from the Rika I knew, but I didn't hesitate. I had the advantage, so I didn't need to worry. Besides, this was coming from the last survivor of the Furuta family, one of the 3 families. That sudden change somehow felt natural. Compared to what the 3 families have done, this is nothing. Thank you for the high praise, though. I should be proud of myself, huh? So, are you seriously thinking about fighting me with a knife in that condition? You can't even stand straight. You're right. Like you said, I'm at my limit. But if this means getting captured and tortured to death by you, then I'm sorry. I'm taking my leave. Taking your leave? Try it if you can. It's clear who held the advantage here. But despite that, an odd thrill filled both of us. We lost our minds wasn't a fitting praise for the people of Kingdom Izawa. It was a feeling of release, when modern demons could stop pretending to be humans. Yes, this was a mad banquet of demons, with savoring of blood and devouring of flesh, attended by the head of the Fude family and the head of the Somozaki family, the old families whose blood is the closest to the madness of the demons. I stood in front of the hallway as so to block her escape route. The windows had grates, and the doors had a safety chain on it. If she turned around, I'd hit her with my stun gun. In this situation, what did Rika Fude mean by taking her leave? Rika got her knife ready. I expected her to aim at my stomach when she attacked, so I took a stance with my stun gun ready in my hand. Rika, however, suddenly turned around. Carefully watched to see what her next move would be. Rika put the handle of the knife on the wall and held it in place. What was she doing? Goodbye, tortured maniac. I won't give you the satisfaction of killing me. Rika reared her head back and slammed her throat against the knife on the wall. Her blood splattered all over. Rika bent backwards repeatedly, and the knife flashed at her throat. Again and again. Her neck and chest were dyed red. I'd always thought blood was darker. Her blood wasn't dark. So bright I must have been confused, but it looked pretty. After doing this several times, Rika turned around. Her eyes were wide open. She didn't look like she was from this world. Her face looked like something both living and dead, both real and artificial. It was very scary, eerie, and above all else pale. Although her face looked unearthly, it was a very appropriate face for a demon. I didn't have a mirror, so I couldn't tell, but I was sure I looked exactly like her. Rika continued to violently slash her throat. It reminded me of someone trying to break a huge piece of ice with an ice pick. It was exactly what Rika looked like. The white chips of ice coolly flying through the air. What I saw before me was a beautiful sight. Every time Rika struck her throat, tiny drops of red blood splattered the boring white world around her. It was like a dance. A dedication dance for the final head of the Fude family. A demon's last dance of dedication to Oroshiro-sama. Upon seeing that literally blood-curdling dance, I let out a fierce roar. I had no reason to do so. I was howling like an animal. We were like animals trying to kill each other, both getting covered in blood. And inadvertently, as one convulsed in a pool of that blood, the other threw back its head and howled. My body shivered with the joy I felt inside of me. This was death, the most final of judgments, and it was right before me. The demons howled, screamed, and roared. The roars faded and my voice started to change from the voice of a demon back to that of a human. As a demon I roared, but as a human I sneered. Rika was covered in the blood from her neck down. Her blood was pouring out, making a little noise. Rika was still staring into my eyes. I stared back at her. I wasn't sure they were still eyes, though. They were no longer human eyes, but the eyes of the dead. Rika. No, Rika's corpse vomited blood from her mouth and nose and smiled. Then she dropped the knife. She stuck her hands out and turned her palms upwards. Her wriggling fingers reminded me of an insect's legs. Those fingers reached for her own throat. I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never seen anybody do this before. Because Rika was scratching her own throat, she ripped her own throat apart. Maybe that wasn't a good description. She was trying to rip out the inside of her throat, through the opening she had made with the knife. Her fingers found the biggest tear. Rika smiled. At least that's what I would have called it if she was still alive. She ripped open the tear in one tug. She got her main artery. Upon hearing my scream, Rika died and fell on her face, into the pool of blood. It was not that gruesome in the anime.
Oh, man.
In the anime, she just stabbed herself in the head until she collapsed and died. That was it. She didn't get up again to show me her throat. I stepped back from Rika Fude's body and bumped into the wall in the hallway. I roared again in admiration of the ritual dance, the dedication of the head of the Fude family. Joy ran through my body and my blood rushed through my veins. I won! I defeated her! Ah! And I realized I had disposed of the heads of the three families, the core of the curse of Otoshiro-sama. Wait, is Kimiyoshi dead? Did you kill Kimiyoshi already? Everything was finally exposed. The curse of Otoshiro-sama and its masterminds were all exposed. I disposed of the heads of the three families who all killed Satoshi-kun. Right? A little bit of it just kind of wish it did too. The head of the Somozaki family died of a heart attack. She was at the bottom of the well along with the wheelchair. I apprehended the head of the Kimiyoshi family. He continued to tiptoe until he died. The head of the Fude family died in a way that was perfect for the final head of the three families of Onigapuchi. I did it. I accomplished my mission. I defeated all the masterminds, who killed Satoshi-kun with the curse. Every one. Satoshi-kun, you were powerless. You didn't have the means to fight back. Those evil people simply sneered while they let you die after marking you as a member of the cursed Hojo family. I will never, ever forgive them. They believed you deserved to die because you were one of the Hojos. As long as it was done by the curse of Lord Shido-sama, they didn't care who you were killed. I will never forgive those people for creating this world. Mission complete. Mission complete.
Oh my god.
What could I have done to save you, Satoshi-kun? I couldn't save you. Shion Sonozaki couldn't do anything else at the time. If it was Mion, not Shion. If it was Mion that day, I could have saved you. Mion could have saved you. That's right, I remembered now. Shion. She said she wanted to eat red snapper sashimi that day. I was supposed to eat that. Shion pouted and cried. That's why I let her switch, just for that night. I did it to make her happy, like a big sister would. Shion was never treated well, so I felt bad. That was it. I was being a good sister, that was it. When morning came, the world had been turned upside down and had remained so until today. We weren't twins anymore. The one with the demon was Mion, and the one without the demon was Shion. What was that supposed to mean? Wait, Mom, listen. I'm Mion, not her. We can tell us apart, right, Mom? Look, can't you tell I'm Mion? Come on, everyone, tell me I'm Mion. I'm Mion. Don't call me Shion. I'm Mion. I am. Then I realized. You knew, didn't you? That the relatives weren't gathering for a simple party that night. You knew! No, I didn't! I really didn't know! Huh? How can you say that? You were so persistent that day. You said you'd never eaten red snapper before, so you really wanted to try it. You never gave up asking me. I really didn't know. I didn't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have said that. Oh, sure. You were always jealous of me. That's why I switched with you every once in a while. But you weren't satisfied with just that. You became even more jealous. And that night you knew what was going on and took Mion from me. You took Mion from me. Give Mion back. I'm the one who's Mion. I am Mion Sonozaki. You were Shion this whole time. Don't call yourself Mion, you imposter. I kicked the bars of the cell repeatedly while I roared. Compared to my roar, the metallic noise of the bars sounded like a cry from a little puppy. Confirmed, Shion kicks little puppies. I had been convinced by something so stupid. The tattoo of the demon is just a way of telling us apart. Even without that tattoo, I'm Mion. That's right, I am Mion Sonozaki. I gathered my hair and put it in a ponytail with the yellow band that Mion used all the time. Since I didn't feel my hair on my neck, I felt like I could think more clearly now. Two Mions looked at each other through the iron bars. According to our siblings' rule, that was never to happen. Yes, there was only one Mion and one Shion. Could never be two of either at the same time. Shion, let your hair down. I'm Mion and Mion is here. You were never Mion. So don't pretend to be me ever again, do you hear? I said, do you hear? If you do, answer me. Answer me, Shion! I took myself back on this day. Shion admitted that she was Shion. How wonderful it is to be Mion. I feel great. I can think clearly now, because after all, Mion is capable of anything, unlike you, Shion. How dare you pretend to be Mion? Do you have any idea? Huh, Shion? Yes, sis. Shion called me sis, and so I was Mion. Ah, the demon that had been asleep deep inside of me is finally allowed to wake up. The demon roared and my whole body shivered to express its joy. Shion, you committed a great sin. You were Mion until now. You were in a powerful position as Mion of the Sonozaki family, yet you didn't even try to rescue Satoshi-kun. You had millions of chances to save him, but you chose not to do anything. I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. I could have saved Satoshi-kun. You took him from me and you killed him. I'll never forgive you for that. Shion was shaking on the other side of the bars. I'll kill you. I'll kill you in the best way possible. Starting today, I'm going to think it's the best, most gruesome way to kill you. Shion, you better spend every minute fearing what's coming to you. I won't just kill you. I'll make sure your death is long and miserable. And after you're dead, I'll throw you into the well. You better apologize to Satoshi-kun when you get down there. That's what you get for pretending to be me. Do you hear me? That's your sin. I think Shion's lost it. I think she's popped.
I'm pretty sure she's gone nuts.
I need to at least clean up the kitchen. While I was putting old newspapers on the floor to absorb the blood, the phone rang. I didn't want to answer, but maybe I should. I should answer it and talk to whoever it was. Hello, this is Sonozaki residence. Thank you for answering. This is Hojo calling. I was surprised to hear the Hojo name, but I realized right away it was Sadako. Oh, what's the matter, Sadako?
Sorry to call you so late. Is Rika not there with you?
Ah, yes. Ever since Sadako Hojo was abandoned, she is living with Rika Fude. Of course she gets suspicious that Rika hadn't returned yet.
Oh, yeah, she's here. Oh, she's still there? It's long past dinner time.
Hey, Sadako. I made too much dinner tonight. So I told Rika-chan to eat here with me.
Huh? Is that so? Oh.
Why don't you come over too? I have plenty of food left. Rika-chan had already started eating.
Oh, Rika! Alright, I'll clean up a little and then head out. See you shortly.
Okay. I'll be here. See ya. Click.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
That's not gonna end well.
Nope. Oh, the phone.
Keiichi, I've been calling your name for a while. You have a phone call. It's from Sonozaki-san.
Sonozaki-san? Which one? The older sister or the younger one?
I don't know. Ask her yourself.
Hello? Mion? Or is it Shion?
It's me, Shion. Good evening.
You got lots of Keiichi lines. Stop looking at your phone for a minute.
Shion. Sorry about last night. I got all riled up.
You must have been worried about how I hung up on this phone so suddenly last night. We're tied to the same fate. Making sure the other is alright is the only way to guarantee our own safety.
Yeah, I agree.
We absolutely need to share whatever information we have, so that we don't die, like Takano-san or Tomatake-san did. Oh, I heard Keiichi swallow dryly.
Then let's continue.
No, that would be me.
That's you.
Then let's continue where we left off. You'll listen without getting angry this time, right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Keiichi agreed to be quiet and listen. I explained the dangerous situation Keiichi was in once again. Just like how some evil people in the village attacked Takano-san and Tomatake-san, they might attack us any day. It was ironic, of course, that while I was warning him, I was also the one who made sure that the curse would fall upon him. Let's report anything we notice that seems strange. If we connect all the tiny pieces, then then maybe we'll find out who killed them. Or maybe even the truth behind the incidents of the past few years.
You're right. You're right about that.
Then I'll start, since I suggested it. I feel like somebody's been watching me lately.
What?
I was making this up. I just wanted him to realize how urgent the situation was. It might be my imagination, but I'll tell you anyway. I think it's just me, but if you feel like you're being watched too, Kei-chan, then maybe it's not just in my head.
Well, don't worry. At the very least, everything's fine with me.
It seems like nothing has happened to Keiichi today, at least. Now that the heads of all the three families were gone, it's possible that the curse system had been destroyed entirely. If that was the case, then Keiichi might not be attacked after all. But if there was someone who didn't want to attack him, then that meant who did want to attack him, that meant part of the system was still alive. In other words, my mission wouldn't be accomplished just yet. Keiichi is like a litmus test in this situation. I'd know whether or not any enemies were gone, depending on if Keiichi got bitten. Sure is a very useful man. After that, I went along with what Keiichi said. I made sure he's fearful of Mion, as well as all of the three families. I explained to him the possibility that the whole village was involved, that the curse of Otoshiro-sama might have some sort of system. And I remembered Shion wouldn't know too much about the disappearances of the mayor, so I continued. I just heard this myself. Is it true that Uncle Kimiyoshi went missing?
The mayor, you mean? Wait, Shion, you haven't heard?
I don't know anything. I just overheard my father talking about it on the phone again.
Yeah, actually, last night after the meeting, he didn't come home, so the whole village was in a panic. I searched all over Hinamazawa, but if they found him, then I haven't heard. The police should be searching for him as well.
Well, why didn't you tell me something that important right away?
Sorry, I thought you already knew. I didn't want to hide it or anything.
Kei-chan, what should I do?
What's wrong? Tell me. We're not keeping secrets from each other, right?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hide it. It's just that, well, the conversation got turned around and...
We're on the same side, right? I won't get mad, so just tell me.
Uncle Kimiyoshi, I told him everything.
Old man Kimiyoshi. He's someone you feel comfortable confided in, Shion.
Yes, he would. When I was little, he was really nice to me. All I did was play tricks on him, but he'd always just smile. He listened to anything I had to say. He was such a kind person.
Calm down, Shion. It's not like he's dead, right? Don't lose heart so easily.
Keiichi tried to make me feel better, but he had no idea what was actually going on. Really made me laugh.
That night, I told the mayor that we snuck into the ritual storehouse so that someone saw us and was out to get us.
Does the mayor know... Does the mayor know absurdly...
How absurdly?
Does the mayor know how absurdly Takano-san and Tomotaki-san died?
Yes, he knew about it. I told him that they died by Oshiro-sama's curse, and that could be made a sacrifice to calm his anger. I just said it straight out.
Right. What then?
Uncle Kimiyoshi didn't get angry. He smiled and he told me that if I was remorseful enough about it, there would be no way I'd be demoned away. He was really smiling and he told me to leave it to him.
I actually got a little sad while saying that. Uncle Kimiyoshi had been so reliable. I was happy that he said he would protect Shion. I truly was happy. If only I hadn't said anything to insult Satoshi-kun.
That's my fault. Because I can...
No, that's me.
You.
That's me.
It's my fault because I confessed everything.
Stop it, Shion. It's not your fault.
No, it is my fault. I told him our secret. Uncle Kimiyoshi found out about everything, so he had to be killed. It's right after I confessed to him, after all. He disappeared the same night, and he told everything was going to be alright.
Such a strange feeling. I wasn't upset at all. But as I pretended to be upset and mutter words of prayer for Kimiyoshi's safety, I started feeling that emotion growing inside me. I was only pretending to be distressed for Keiichi, yet the emotion I feigned began welling up inside me. I felt like I was being consumed by that emotion. So the words coming from my mouth weren't words I intentionally said. They were words that consumed emotion from forcing me to say. Like someone else inside me was doing the talking instead. And I was just watching that someone talk from a short distance away.
I should have never told him. All of this should have only been our fault. Only the four of us. It wasn't something I should have told someone else. He got killed because I told him. He got killed because he knew. He got killed because I confessed to him.
Hey, stop. If they're doing that, then they obviously would have killed you before killing the mayor. That doesn't make sense. You or I should have been killed first. Why would other people die before us?
It does make sense. They must be making plans to kill us all us last of all.
Huh? What?
They start by killing those who we're close to. If they cause us so much pain, then they'll kill us. That must be what they're doing.
What I just said scared even me. Also, I feel it's important to mention, if Shion never said the line, I confessed everything to him and that's why he's dead, Keiichi wouldn't have had that sort of premonition that something happened to Rika.
Huh.
Killing our loved ones first to harm us emotionally, and then killing us at the height of our suffering. Whoa! I feel something crawling up my spine. That's awesome! It's an awesome idea! I must not be a human anymore. I really am a demon. A human could never think of such cruel things. That would be one incredible hell. Your close friends dying one at a time while after being tortured, and after that you yourself get killed. What a great way to destroy someone's life! Why was I getting so excited about this? Because I could get going with that plan right away. Ah!
Rika-chan. It's Rika-chan.
What?
What did you say just now?
Well, the truth is, I told her about it. I told Rika-chan. Today.
Rika-chan? You mean Rika-chama? The one from the Fude Shrine?
Yes, Rika-chan. I felt so scared and uneasy that I did it. I told Rika-chan.
Yep, if she hadn't said the whole sort of I told old man Kimiyoshi.
What did she say?
The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure.
Yeah, it's still yelling.
That's what Rika-chan said. I'm sorry, Shion. I'm a bit worried about... I'm worried about Rika-chan.
Alright, if you're that concerned, then don't worry about me. Please, go find whether she's safe.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll call you again tomorrow at the same time. When I do, you'll know I'm still alright.
I got it. I'll be waiting. Okay, bye. Sorry. I'm hanging up.
Keiichi hung up roughly. What a hilarious conversation with Keiichi. Everything was just too damn funny. Keiichi Marabata, go ahead and struggle helplessly. Run all over the village and see if the curse is still alive. Go ahead and see if my enemies are still around. I laughed for a while and then calmed down. I'd already gotten rid of the bicycles and shoes belonging to Rika and Sadako. My house was, for the moment, taken care of. I should expect Keiichi to run around in a panic, to ask for help from somebody, and then ultimately come to Milan. More than likely, the youth group will end up looking for Rika like they did for the mayor. I'd probably have to endure another long night again, knowing nobody would find her. I decided to wait until the phone rang. I killed time by watching TV until it did. Kei-chan, are you serious? I'm going to get really mad if this is a joke. I scolded Keiichi for suspecting that Rika had disappeared.
Me-chan, if it really is a joke, don't get mad. Smile. It would be a joke after all. We need to make sure whether it's a joke or not.
You're right. Sorry for getting upset. Rena rebuked me. While she looked quiet, I felt like she could be very terrifying under her skin. I had no basis for that impression, but I still felt that way. I just didn't like her. I had disliked her ever since that rainy day at the bus stop. Wasn't that we didn't get along, though? How should I put it? I was at a loss for how to explain. That was it. I found a good example. When I was little, I always wanted to play tennis. That's not segue, okay. I had my relatives take me to a tennis court, and they all praised my skill. I was doing nothing more than hitting a ball with a racket. But they told me I was talented, and that made me happy. When I went to school, I told my classmates I played tennis, and they told me that I was talented too. Then, one of my classmates, who was usually very quiet, said she also played tennis. Not only did she play, but she took lessons. Although I bragged about my serve, I was no match for her. I felt lonely and insulted that everyone was paying attention to her and not me. She was usually very quiet, but suddenly I realized that she knew more and had a lot more experience than me. Ran at the bus stop was just like that. I thought of myself as a demon now. I'd awakened a part of me that was half human and half demon, the part that lived in Onigafuchi village. In fact, I had already stepped into a world where normal humans couldn't go. I had already surpassed my human limits. I genuinely thought of myself as a superior being, having transcended the realm of mortals. But when my eyes met with Rena Ryugu's, I felt what I did long ago with tennis. Why? Why did I feel that way with Rena? I'd heard that in the animal world during battle, animals glare at each other to display their strength. Only humans have to punch or kick each other to feel superiority or inferiority. Most animals can tell just by glaring at each other. In that case, could it be the same way with Rena?
Me-chan, are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. I haven't slept since yesterday, Sorry. Keiichi climbed up a ladder and tried to peek into the window on the second floor where Rika and Sadako lived. It was my job to hold down the ladder. Rena cautioned me to hold onto it tightly.
Me-chan, I'm gonna go check the main house just to be sure, okay? I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Be careful. Rena ran off after that. When I looked up, I saw Keiichi trying to open a window, but all of them were locked. What had Rena been in my main house? Oh, wait, shit, that's Keiichi's.
What had Rena mean by main house?
Keiichi asked me from the top of the ladder. It's the Fude family's actual house. After her parents passed away, I think it's been left like that.
Alright. Rika-chan's parents, they passed away, huh?
Sadako's also an orphan. Her parents fell from a cliff because of Oda Shiro-sama's curse. Then her older brother Satoshi-kun, he disappeared.
Satoshi. I've heard that name before.
He had heard the name before. I felt anger growing inside of me. Don't you know whose desk you've been using every day? You act as if it belongs to you. You drop food on it while eating lunch. You drool on it while taking a nap. Don't you know who it really belongs to? Why am I acting this way? I'm Neon. Satoshi-kun doesn't even exist anymore. He was demoned away. It's hardly Keiichi-kun's fault that he didn't know. It really isn't his fault. Sadako and Rick... Ah, fuck, shit. Wait, hold on. I don't know if that's Keiichi's line or if that's my line. No, okay, that's mine. Sadako and Rika-chan have been living in this... No, wait. Oh, yeah, no, that's my line. Sadako and Rika-chan have been... English US. Neither of them have any family, but at least they're together. They help each other out.
Didn't Rena say there was a main house? Wouldn't it be easier to live there?
I think she tried that at first. She said it was hard, though, because it reminded her of her parents. After everyone in Sadako's family died, she started living with Rika. It only made sense. Sadako and Rika were best friends. They didn't care about the Hojo family or the Fude family. They had been friends because before the damn conflict. The reason why the curse never fell upon Sadako. Rika Fude probably had a lot to do with that. It made more sense than anything else, at least. Sadako was pardoned from the curse of the Hojo family, all thanks to Rika Fude's arrangements. Sadako had never been a victim on the night of Watanagashi. According to the curse systems I had uncovered, the last survivor of the Hojo family still living in Hinamizawa would be the perfect target for this year's curse. Therefore, whoever was responsible for executing the curse must have tried to take her life. However, nothing happened to her, proving that Sadako had escaped from the curse. That was really, truly infuriating. She might have been the head of the Fude family, but I still couldn't accept that such a little girl had enough power to protect her best friend. Neon. No, actually Shion. Shion must have had that same power then. Just like Rika protected Sadako, Shion could have protected Satoshi. Damn it! Rika-chan and Satoko-chan. They have it hard, huh? Oh no, that would have been Keiichi, never mind. She's cursed. Huh? Neon. Me.
Neon, what did you say?
I said, she's cursed.
Neon, why are you making that face?
Sadako Hojo. She's been cursed by Oroshiro-sama. I can't accept that Sadako is pardoned from the curse, although she was a member of the cursed Hojo family. She was one of the cursed Hojos. Satoshi-kun wasn't pardoned, but Sadako was. She was cursed, but she got away. She escaped the curse, but Sadako... Fuck. Satoshi-kun didn't. I can't accept that. In fact, Sadako should have been the one to be the cursed the most. She cornered Satoshi-kun physically and emotionally. That's why things got weirder and weirder. In the end, everything went crazy. When I think back on it, it was Sadako who I hated most of all. She cornered Satoshi-kun. Oh, Shion.
That's a lot of...
That's a lot of asterisks, oh.
That's a lot of expletives. One can only imagine what sort of...
The absolute rage.
One can only imagine what sort of creative swear she came up with there.
Gosh, Shion, stop being such a sailor. And as a result, Satoshi-kun disappeared. She started it. She caused it. Only she hadn't been there. Just as Rika Fude and Sadako had lived happily, maybe there would have been a happy future for me too. Maybe Satoshi-kun and I could have started our lives together in Okiyamiya. Yes, if I looked at both the beginning and the end, it was so obvious. Sadako's existence caused everything. Satoshi-kun had to kill his aunt because of Sadako. The three families used that need to create the curse, and then they killed him. The police were convinced that he just ran away, but he'd never do that. He was the type of person who always did his best at everything, all by himself. He was doing the very best he could for his only sister, yet he was forced to vanish. He worked so hard for Sadako, and though he was living just for her, he was erased. Poor Satoshi-kun. He was so underappreciated. The girl knew no gratitude. She was cursed. If you got near her, you'd meet the same fate. You'd be cursed to die or disappear. That really was it. She was the main cause behind it all. She wormed her way into Rika Fude's good graces, and that's why the curse fell upon Satoshi-kun. She should have died first. Then Satoshi-kun would still be alive. If he was alive, I could have done something for him. I couldn't forgive her. I can't forgive Sadako. I can't forgive that girl. There'll be no peace with her. there can be no peace. There will be no peace when you are done. She was the perfect target for the curse in 1983. The curse of Otoshiro-sama. Rika Furude, the reincarnation of Otoshiro-sama. Rika was dead. The reincarnation of Otoshiro-sama had died. There was no more god in Hinamizawa to deliver the curse. I'm the one who has to deliver it now. I am Mion Sonozaki, the head of the Sonosaki family, one of the 3 families of Onigafuchi. Now that all the heads of the 3 families are gone, there will be nobody to surpass me. I will deliver the curse of Otoshiro-sama and nobody else. I'll deliver it. I am the curse. I have become Otoshiro-sama. I have become God! I felt hot bubbles boiling over deep inside of me. This feels kind of familiar. I feel like we did this with Keiichi and, Sadako's arc. I could feel the demon inside me wanting to roar. I noticed Keiichi was looking down at me. Calm down, Mion. Can't tell what you're thinking. Calm down, calm down. At that point, I heard footsteps coming closer. I saw 4 or 5 adults, accompanied by Rena, running towards us with flashlights in their hands. One of them opened the lock on the cabin door, and we all went inside. Of course, there was nobody there. Sadako and Rika lived alone. I doubt Sadako would have left a note saying she was going over to Sonozaki house with Rika when Rika was there already. But it wouldn't be fun if she had. Because of that, I hurried along into the room ahead of Rena to make sure there was nothing left behind. The rumor of Rika and Sadako's disappearance spread into the village quickly. More and more villagers gathered at the Furude shrine. Acting in place of the head of the Sonosaki family, I commanded them to search the village. The villagers nodded and scattered. How long had it been since the last time I was truly Mion? I felt so pleased that my body almost went numb. Don't get off to that, man. Lots of villagers went in and out of the shrine. They yelled at each other that she was nowhere to be found. Some suggested other places to look, and they all left. They made a lot of noise with their comings and goings. Members of the Women's Association brought out huge pots and some gas cookers in the storage. Got ready to cook for the men. That was when I noticed Keiichi unsteadily walking towards a copse of dark pine trees. What was he thinking? How stupid of him to be alone on a night like this. If the person responsible for executing the curse was nearby, he wouldn't come back safely. Mion-chan, we went out to Old Lake, but couldn't find anything. We tried to light up the pond, but we're going to have to wait until the sun's up. Okay, thanks for your hard work. The women are making some miso soup, so please rest up and have some. Mion-chan, do you know where they usually park their bikes? No. They probably parked them at the bottom of the stairs leading up here. I don't think they'd come up while carrying them. We can't find their bicycles. Where did they go? They left on their bikes. They could have gone pretty far. Maybe even as far as the town. In that case, I'll have to look outside of Hinamizawa. By the way, who first noticed that Rika-chama was gone? It's Kei-chan. He suddenly had a hunch. Oh, that Maibara kid, huh? He's a little suspicious. Speaking of which, why hasn't Maibara's family shown up when we're in crisis like this? Maibara still haven't joined the town council, so not in the group's phone dictionary. Really? Well, ain't no helping it then. Huh? They joined, didn't they? I think it's just that their name isn't in the directory yet. The last time we updated it was the beginning of the year. They just moved here, so that's why they're not on it. That Maibara kid's hunch is still suspicious. They do say that the first in the scene is the most suspicious. Where'd he go? I saw him walking towards the pine trees. Can someone go get him? Conveniently, I saw Keiichi and Rena walking back towards us. Kei-chan, where'd you go? I was worried you disappeared too.
Sorry.
It looked like nothing had happened to Keiichi. If so, that's fine. That means I took care of all my enemies. Oh, Oshi. Oh, my. I knew I smelled something good coming from over here. I'd be much obliged if you would allow me to have some. I heard the loud, sticky voice of a middle-aged man. It was Oshi. Hi, Oshi. You must be confused by this year's incident. The scale of the curse this year is nothing like the previous ones. Oshi's information network is about equal to or better than those of the elders of the town council. In other words, he could easily uncover a rumor that was circulating through the underside of the village. He must have come here to see if the disappearances of Kimiyoshi and Rika had something to do with the changing of the locks in the ritual storehouse. The police will come for me sooner or later. I am Mion Sonozaki. By removing all the heads of the 3 families and my enemies, I have become the head in their place. I can't allow Mion Sonozaki to continue existing. I have to destroy the existence of the head of the Sonozaki family. When I destroy my own position, that is when my revenge will come to an end. More than likely, I'll have Oshi witness my final moments. My eyes and Oshi's meet. Damn it. He thinks I'm suspicious already. You're right, Oshi. I did it. Mion Sonozaki, the head of the Sonozaki family, is the culprit. Heh. Bitch, you guessed it. Whew. You was right.
You're right.
You're right. Well, man, new notebook pages. The path to hell with a picture of a goddamn ladder. Rika Fudere. She was the head of the Fudere family, but she never even appeared at the most important meetings. Even if she did show up, nobody would ask for her opinion, so it never really mattered if she was there or not. A legend in the Fudere family says that if their first child was a girl for 8 generations in a row, the 8th girl would be the reincarnation of Otoshiro-sama. According to Takano-san's research, Rika Fudere is very likely to be the one. How did they come up with that?
That is a really arbitrary number.
No, I think 8 comes from the O. So that might be where that comes from. Surely she must be an important icon in the cult of Otoshiro-sama. The true believers are devoted to her. So it's quite surprising to me that Rika Fudere herself was the assassin. It's unbelievable. It's just too abnormal. Usually a VIP like her wouldn't be the one to assassinate someone. It's possible that it's a Rika Fudere lookalike. From the way she moves, she seemed experienced in fighting. It's not normal that a small girl like her would jump me without faltering. I just got lucky because I had a stun gun. Without it, I don't know what would have happened. She was far more skilled. But then she looked. Was she trained as an assassin? Or was it a body double? Everything's a mystery, including that creepy syringe. What's going on? I can't understand. She was like an apparition or something. Did Onryu Sonozaki know of her existence? Was it hiding on the other side of this village? That underside. Might run much deeper than I thought. It didn't. It didn't. At this point, I believe I can complete my revenge by destroying the curse system entirely. That means I have to eliminate the heads of all the 3 families, the successor Shion, and the assassins who were after Keiichi. Although Keiichi is completely unguarded, he hasn't been attacked so far, even though I told everyone that he was one of the trespassers. In fact, it was me who's being attacked. Rika Fudere attacked me. According to my theory, Keiichi should make for a very attractive bait. But nobody's done anything to harm him. Since Rika Fudere attacked me, it might be that the opposite. The opposing Fudere family is a greater taboo than trespassing the ritual storehouse. Rika Fudere had said that the intrusion wasn't a big deal. She sounded like she was going to let Keiichi walk. And after I accused her of that, Rika Fudere attacked me that very night. Are there 2 different factions? Does one handle trespassing in the ritual storehouse, while the other protects the religious doctrines of the Fudere family? No, that doesn't make sense. Tomotage-san's death would have been caused by the Fudere family injections. Rika showed me the effects of it herself, clawing at her own throat and dying like that. Tomotage-san shouldn't have been subject to the curse, at least according to the system of the Fudere family. I don't understand why Keiichi hasn't been attacked. Did he have something exempting him from the curse, like Takano-san? Just like how when Sadako Hojo was spared. Keiichi is a friend of Rika Fudere's, so does that mean that if you were close to her, you wouldn't be cursed? Was she more important than the whole system? That's impossible. The hag was on top of the curse system. Rika couldn't have been higher up than her. Scribble, scribble. Are there multiple ways to determine the subject of the curse?
That's what you think, but apparently Rika is the most important thing in all of this.
You right. Are there many curse execution groups as there are subjects? Do they all work separately? It's a mess. None of my theories add up. If I mess up my reasoning, I might make the wrong person the target of my revenge. I don't understand who the enemy is or how Satoshi-kun was made to disappear. I didn't hit the right key. How much did the hag know? That really was a huge loss. I have so many things I wanted to ask her. I killed her by accident. Shit. In that respect, I've already failed in my revenge. The underside of Hinamizawa really does run too deep. Scribble, scribble. The whole page is blacked out with scribbles. Continue. Hey, Are you all still alive? Kimiyoshi was hanging from the collar, with his head turned up to the ceiling. He didn't even move when I walked in. Maybe he's already dead. Sadako was lying on a cross-shaped restraining table. She glared at me with red and swollen eyes, which may have been that way from crying. I wanted to put her on that special restraining table to polish nails, pound nails into her hands, but Sadako was too small for that. I walked up to Kimiyoshi and poked his body with my toe. There was no response. Uncle Kimiyoshi, are you dead? Murder! Murder! Maybe Sadako had witnessed Kimiyoshi's last moments. I took a thick knife from the wall and stabbed Kimiyoshi with it. There was no response. Uncle Kimiyoshi? If you're alive, you better tell me, okay? You can't fool me. I walked over to the pulley that was suspending Kimiyoshi. This is your last chance. Are you alive? Let me know if you are. I paused just for a moment and then turned the pulley. Ooh. At least Sadako's getting the extra steam time she wanted. I don't think she wanted it like this. Kimiyoshi's body swayed strangely in the air. It looked much more like a corpse like that. Shion-san, why are you doing this? I get it. The door to the huge cave was still open. I bet Sadako had talked to the one in the cell while I was gone. That's how she knows my name. Although that's not actually my name at all. No, I'm not Shion. I'm the real Mion. The one you all thought was Mion is Shion. It's kind of confusing, huh? If you don't get it, that's okay. How dare you? How dare you kill Rika? I had allowed Sadako to watch me take care of Rika's body. Of course, I let her see Rika's neck, too. Rika Fude deserved it. She came over to kill me. I just fought back, that's all. It's not possible! Rika would never do a thing like that! If you don't believe me, that's fine. It's none of your business anyway. What are you going to do with me? I'm going to kill you. Sadako's eyes went wide. She was expecting my answer, I'm sure, but she still looked shocked. I bet she didn't expect me to state it so openly. I heard the noises of something hitting iron bars echoing in the huge cave. Shion's voice echoed there as well. Sis, no! Don't kill Sadako! I answered her clearly. Did you finally realize what you've done? Did you finally realize you didn't do anything to save Satoshi-kun, although you had the power to? That's why he was killed. You ignored millions of chances to rescue Satoshi-kun. Yes, that is your sin. Before I even finished my sentence, I stabbed Sadako's right arm. Her blood started to flow out. This was nothing compared to what happened to Rika Fude. I twisted the knife into Sadako's arm. She bit down hard, crying. Stop! Don't kill Sadako! Let her go! I don't care what you do to me, but please let Sadako go! Why couldn't you say that for Satoshi-kun? It's too late now. I was the one screaming like you did back then. But no matter how loud I screamed, it never reached them, spared them, or saved him. I want you to go through the same thing I did. I stabbed Sadako's arm repeatedly, but the knife kept hitting her bone. I didn't feel like I was cutting any of her flesh. Stop, Mion! Stop, sis! Stop! Okay, Shion, how about this? I'll tell you how you can save Sadako. Apologize to me 1,000 times. I'll let her go when you're done. How about that? I don't tell lies. If you really apologize 1,000 times, I'll keep my promise. Well, how about that? I'm sorry. I'm not going to keep repeating it because it's going to start hurting my throat. She started to apologize like a broken record. She's so stupid and honest. She's not even thinking of cheating. I bet Shion really will count to 1,000. I stabbed Sadako in the wrist. There, I felt something hard. I guess I either crushed her bone or scraped it. It must be extremely painful for her. Sadako screamed. Shion's voice got louder as if trying to overpower that scream. Oof. All you ever do is cry to get what you want. You think your Nini is going to appear out of nowhere, knock me aside and rescue you, huh? Yeah, right. The knife was still in Sadako's wrist. I slid it toward her elbow. Oof. Sadako, can you hear me? Hey, listen to me. I slapped her face several times and made her look at me. Do you know what you've done? Do you know how your very existence is what courted Satoshi-kun? Nini. That's right, that's all you did to him. Every time you cried, Satoshi-kun would protect you. But have you ever even considered what kind of a burden you were to him? He wasn't some superhero. He was just like you. He was just a normal human being. Have you ever even thought what he had to go through because of you? No, you didn't. You never even tried. You just let Satoshi-kun take care of you. You just leeched off of him. And as he got injured for your sake, you lived by sucking his blood. You're cursed. I wouldn't even still call for him. Huh? Telling her all I wanted to, I exhaled roughly. With my help, you're now going to pay for your sin. Cry as much as you want. Scream as much as you want. And realize Satoshi-kun will never come for you. You cornered him. You made him disappear. You killed him. What's this? You don't feel anything in your right arm anymore? Okay. Let's use your left. I dribbled water on me. I stabbed her left arm repeatedly, and her blood flowed out. But Sadako's reactions weren't fun anymore. She didn't cry or scream like she did before. That put me in a bad mood. So I stabbed the back of her left hand and twisted the knife again. But Sadako still just moaned. She didn't scream anymore. What's the matter? Are you stifling your screams in protest? Thinking I was enjoying your cries? That's great! Sadako was unfazed by my mad laughter. She looked at me with gritted teeth in resignation. Yes, I think that's the truth. Huh? I cornered Nini. That's why he disappeared. I've known that ever since the day he vanished. It wasn't strong enough. I depended on Nini. I'm sure it was hard for him too, but I couldn't stop. You are absolutely right about that. I have no excuse. Sadako didn't sound like she was mocking me or trying to please me. She spoke so naturally. That's interesting. I never realized you were aware of what you'd done. Nini is coming back. He will come back someday. And when he does, I'm going to show him how independent I've become. I don't need him anymore. I won't hide behind him anymore. I'm going to show him that I really can live on my own. When he comes back, huh? I stabbed Sadako's arm in a mad frenzy, but she still didn't even scream. She bit down tightly and swallowed her pain instead. Nini is coming back. I know he is. I'm waiting for him. And when he comes back, I'll apologize for depending on him so much. So I won't give up until that day comes. I'll never depend on him again, ever. No matter what kind of hardships I have to endure, I won't ask him to help me. I won't call for help. I won't cry. I won't scream. If I cry, Nini will come for me. So I'm going to endure this by myself. Damn you. What do you think you're saying? If it's fun for you, go ahead. Stab me as much as you please. If you think I'm going to cry for me, Nini, well, too bad. I will not cry, ever. If you refuse to believe me, then try it. Nini is watching me. He's watching me endure this. He'll see that I'm not like I was before. And when he sees that, he's going to come back. Come on, try it. I'll not even cry. Try and see how strong Sadako Hojo is. Shit. I'll show her. Take that, and that, and that. Nini, you're watching, right? I've become so strong. This won't bring me down. This is nothing. This won't make me cry. I won't cry for your help. I can endure this. I'm going to endure this. This is nothing compared to what you had to go through for me. Shit. Why doesn't she feel the pain? Doesn't it hurt? There's no way it doesn't. I've been stabbing her so much and the knife went in so deep. Her blood was pouring to the ground and I've been turning her flesh inside out. How could she still talk that way? Why doesn't she cry and scream? After Sadako had said what she wanted to say, she shut her mouth. She didn't say a word after that. No matter how much I stabbed her, twisted the knife and tore at her, ripped out her flesh, she didn't even make a sound. What in the world is this? This isn't the Sadako I know. Sadako was never as strong as this. If Sadako was this strong, she wouldn't have been burdened to Satoshi-kun. Why wasn't she as strong before? It's too late. Everything's too late. This idiot's maturity came far too late. Her blood made my hands slippery and I dropped the knife. I was covered in blood from head to toe. Sadako was still enduring the pain. She was enduring this cruelty so she could display her strength. I couldn't defeat Sadako. I couldn't crush her strength. Sadako had achieved her goal. She had become independent, so she didn't need Satoshi-kun anymore. She still believes Satoshi-kun will come for her one day. She looks forward to the day when she can show her brother how strong she had become. Satoshi-kun hadn't seen any of that. Instead, I, who never even thought that Satoshi-kun would come back, was the one who witnessed her strength. What was I thinking? I thought Satoshi-kun was dead. No, I assumed he was. Why did I? I never even thought of waiting for him. I didn't believe he would come back. I didn't wait. I tried to avenge him, but I guess what I really did was forget about him. Sadako was different. She never even thought he was dead. No, maybe she did a little. But even so, she waited. She waited for a day when she could show him how much she'd grown. She waited patiently. What about me? I didn't do anything. I wanted to forget about my sadness, so I tried to find my enemy. I became a demon using revenge as an excuse, so I didn't have to think like a human. I lost. I couldn't even endure the pain of waiting for Satoshi-kun, so I chose to become a demon. In other words, I got rid of my soul, the soul that loved Satoshi-kun. In other words, I got rid of Satoshi-kun himself. Sadako won. While she had been gritting her teeth before, her mouth had gone slack. Her eyelids were half shut, but I could see her eyes a little. It looked like she was dreaming about something happy. Satoshi-kun was there in her eyes. Sadako endured until Satoshi-kun came for her. Sadako ran up to Satoshi-kun. She jumped onto him. Satoshi-kun hugged her, and they spun around. You can cry now. Satoshi-kun told Sadako that, and she cried very hard. Satoshi-kun rubbed her head so gently. We'll be together forever, he said, and continued to rub her head so gently. So gently. Satoshi-kun, I was waiting for you too. What meaningless words. He was already dead inside of me. I never believed in our reunion. How pitiful of me to say that. Just because I saw Sadako and Satoshi together again. As Satoshi hugged Sadako, his eyes met mine. Shion, Satoshi-kun said, I asked you a favor. What favor? I tried to remember. What kind of favor did Satoshi-kun ask me? Satoshi-kun looked at me sadly, because I couldn't remember. That sad look tore my heart to shreds. The blood flowing out of me wasn't as pretty as Sadako's blood. My blood was a slimy liquid like vomit with filthy chunks of food in it. That was what filled my body. Whether it's a real curse or somebody's conspiracy, I won't disappear and I won't fall victim to it. You won't disappear. No. Not until I buy that teddy bear. I'll get that money pretty soon. I won't go anywhere until then. Huh? A memory of the past, but when? This is the memory of the day before last year's Watanagashi. Satoshi-kun called out on the phone to me then. My aunt is home, I have to go. Oh, okay. Mion? His aunt was home, so I was sure he wanted to hang up as quickly as possible. Satoshi-kun paused and spoke. I'll leave Sadako to you. My knees and elbows started to shake. My teeth clattered and my fingers were shivering. Satoshi-kun asked me to. What have I done? I couldn't wait for Satoshi-kun to come back, so I filled myself with evil thoughts and acted as I pleased. I didn't believe he'd ever return. I even forgot about Satoshi-kun's last request. How can I say I loved him? I even wanted to forget about my feelings of loss, so I made myself all bloody. How can I welcome him back now? I didn't believe Satoshi-kun would come back. I didn't believe Satoshi-kun was alive. I didn't think he was alive, so I thought he was dead. I believed in his death. I killed him in myself. Nobody else did. I did that. But Sadako believed until the very end, and she was rewarded in her final moments. Sadako wasn't here anymore. She had no need for her bloody, painful shell, but I was still here, trapped in my bloody, tainted flesh, and going to rot inside of it. Satoshi-kun was waiting for both Sadako and me. To be reunited with Satoshi-kun, we had to keep our promises. Sadako's promise was to be strong. Sadako kept that promise until the bitter end. Satoshi-kun embraced her. My promise was to take care of Sadako for Satoshi-kun. I never kept the promise from the beginning. Therefore, Satoshi-kun will never embrace me. Even if I were to rub Sadako's wounds and ask her if they hurt, that wouldn't mean anything. That was when I felt something behind me. It wasn't Satoshi-kun or that thing that scared me before. I didn't know who it was, but it was right there, criticizing me for my mistakes. Then I finally realized it. That thing is me. Don't worry, Shion. Sadako died on the cross for all your sins. Oh my god.
Oh god.
I'd always been there, standing behind myself and watching me break that promise. Satoshi-kun asked me to take care of Sadako, yet I didn't keep that promise. I'd been watching that happen. I cried and gave up on myself. Wait. Satoshi-kun gave up on me, and I gave up on myself. What will happen to me now? I don't want to be in this darkness. I don't want to be all bloody. Please don't leave me. I gave up on myself, but what happened to my body? Rest in grease, lolly Jesus.
Oh my god.
Be nothing left. The only thing I have left in me is an evil demon. Ah, I get it. I've known for a long time now. I am nothing but a demon. A demon doesn't feel sad. A demon's heart can never be in pain. A demon doesn't cry. Shion was still apologizing. She believed it was the only way for her to save Sadako. Her voice was growing hoarse and weak. Shion! You don't need to count anymore. Good job. I guess she realized what happened to Sadako. Shion cried in her cell. Being a demon isn't all that bad, huh? I never knew how fun it would be to see other people cry and scream. I've always had plenty of fun in this human world. Maybe soon I'll kill myself and go back to hell. But don't worry. I'll make sure I kill you first. That's why I'm here after all. Demons are pleased when they see people cry and grieve, see? Wait, you like Kei-chan, don't you? Okay, I'll rip apart Kei-chan apart right before your eyes. What a great idea. I'll kill you, and then myself after that. Onigafuchi village is a village of demons. Demons came out from the swamp and attacked the village. I'm going to act like those legendary demons and wait for Oroshiro-sama to judge me. That'll be a suitable disaster for Hinamizawa, don't you think? Oh my god! Ah, Kei-chan. It's me, Shion. That's Keiji.
You took a long time to pick up. I thought you weren't home when I was about to hang up.
Sorry. I was just in the bath.
Wouldn't your family pick up for you? Could your parents be out?
Oh no, that would be me. Never
That
mind.
was you!
Shit! That's weird. Wouldn't your family pick up for you? Could your parents be out right now, Kei-chan?
Well, no, they're not really. Anyway, have you heard about Rika-chan and Sadako?
No. What happened after that? Were they found?
Nah, I haven't found them yet.
Kei-chan, please don't lose hope.
Rika-chan and Sadako. They were kidnapped, weren't they?
Yes. I don't think there's much doubt.
Rika-chan and Sadako were... no, I mean... I'm sorry. About the mayor. What do you think happened after he was kidnapped? Do you think he's still alive?
Keiichi sounded confused. He wanted to believe Sadako and Riko were still alive, which is why he was asking. Keiichi was just like Sadako. Unless the culprit was after money, the abductee would usually get killed right away. I never assumed they'd still be alive. But Keiichi was trying to hold on to a little hope. I could feel his strength. It was much greater than mine. I'm a demon, so I didn't come up with an excuse. I think he was killed.
Hey, wait. That was abrupt.
I think it must be really hard to kidnap someone and keep them alive, keep them like they are. As long as they're not hostages, it would be most practical to kill them once you're done with them.
Kill them so readily? I mean, what's a human's life or two anyway?
It's a horrible thing, but that's probably what happened.
If the mayor was killed, then did that mean the same thing happened to Rika-chan and Sadako? No, that couldn't. They weren't some random old man. It was Rika-chan. And it was Sadako. They couldn't just kill them so easily.
Keiji was still refusing to believe what I had said. He fought so hard because he didn't want to kill his friends within him. I wasn't like that. I killed Satoshi-kun within me so easily. I blame Shion for not protecting Satoshi-kun, but I killed him so easily. It's probably better to think that Rika-chan and Sadako-chan ended up the same way. Keiichi roared and cried. It was like their deaths were physically agonizing to him.
Why kidnap someone and then kill them? Screw curses! Are people's lives really that cheap? Erasing them and killing them without a second thought like this?
You're right. You're absolutely right. It would take a demon. I laughed at myself. I was sure Keiichi didn't notice.
Hey Shion, please tell me. Why did Hinamizawa start needing someone to die in the night of Watanagashi?
That's what I'd like to know.
The fighting over the dam project is already over and done with. Haven't enough people been cursed already?
Me.
Why? Why? If there is, then say it now.
I understand how you feel, Keiichi-chan. I really do. The dam conflict ended a long time ago. Yet murders and disappearances keep happening every year under the guise of Oroshiro-sama's curse.
Why? Why is it happening? Some of them had nothing to do with it. And some of them didn't even deserve to be cursed, so why? Why?
That's what I'm asking you!
You! I want to know that as much as anyone. I thought that was Suling's paw for a second. I'm like, what?
Cat.
Of course, the curse of Otoshiro-sama never existed. It was just a bizarre environment that allowed people to kill in the name of Otoshiro-sama. The environment and nothing more. Nothing would have happened unless there were demons who danced within it. Listen, Otoshiro-sama's curse never existed. It's too unrealistic. Just like you said, someone in the village is using the guise of... Oh wait, that might be you. Well, wait. Okay, no, that would have been me. Shit. Listen, Otoshiro-sama's curse never existed. It's too unrealistic. Just like you said, someone in the village is using the guise of Otoshiro-sama's curse as a justification for continuing these murders and disappearances every Watanagashi. They were cunning. They've been using the curse as a convenient tool and made a system where they could get rid of 2 enemies in the village every year. And this year, that system killed Takano-san and Tomotake-san.
Then why wasn't that enough? Why did the mayor and Rika-chan and Sadako have to get killed too? I don't give a shit about the past. The only thing I care about is why Rika-chan and Sadako needed to be killed. Why is that? I didn't say a word to Sadako, you know? Why even her? Why?
Why? Why? Sorry.
Why?
Satoshi-kun was speaking through Keiichi's mouth. How could I respond? I didn't even know what to say. I can only feel myself being stabbed by the sharpness of those words. Kei-chan, please, stop being mean. I don't have any idea what's going on either. Everything changed when we went to the ritual storehouse that night. When I heard that Takano-san and Tomotake-san had been killed that night, I doubted my ears. Then I realized it instantly. I realized what sort of position I was in now. 4 of us snuck in there. Kei-chan, you and I won't be so conveniently forgiven. When I thought about that, it made my chest so tight. It was so terrifying. You know that feeling, Kei-chan, don't you? That's why I confessed everything to Uncle Kimiyoshi. He wasn't mad. He smiled and told me if I was really sorry, I'd never be demoned away. He really did smile at me and told me to leave everything to him. Oh. I remember Uncle Kimiyoshi speaking ill of Satoshi-kun. I killed him, but everyone in Hinamizawa did that. I wasn't the only one at fault. Ah, the calling out of the bullshit.
When did you let the mayor know?
Huh?
I'm sorry, Shion. It must seem like I'm kicking you while you're down, but... Shion, you told him, right? You told old man Kimiyoshi, the mayor.
Yes.
When? When did you let him know?
Keiichi's tone was becoming sharper. That edge was cruel, but it was a sharp conviction. And it wasn't a dull edge that caused excessive pain. There was a clean, pleasant sharpness to it.
Did you know that the mayor had a severe case of hemorrhoids and had gone to the hospital for treatment?
Kei-chan? What does that have to...
Please answer me. If you don't know, then just say so.
I knew that he had hemorrhoids. It looked like sitting down was really hard for him.
He was going to the hospital. You know which hospital, right?
I'm sorry, I don't know that much, but... Kei-chan, what does that have to do with...
I want to ask you straight. Shion, when did you tell the mayor about everything? When and where? You can give me a rough answer, but please give me one.
Kei-chan, why are you asking that? Very good, Keiichi Marabata. You know who I am, don't you?
It was impossible. The day the mayor disappeared, from dawn until he vanished, there was no opportunity for you to contact him.
That's...
The mayor left first thing in the morning for his examination at the university hospital, all by himself without telling anyone. Shion, you just said you didn't know what hospital he went to, so you couldn't have contacted the mayor until he got back. Isn't that right? His train back was delayed by an accident, and he didn't return to his house until the meeting was about to start. So there was no time for you to have told him before the meeting started either.
Now I'm just expecting the, like, Ace Attorney, like, questioning...
Objection!
Objection!
Shion, did you go to the meeting too? Did you attend and tell him there? If you didn't, then there wouldn't have been any time left. After the meeting was over, the mayor disappeared on his way home.
Actually, with the meeting,
You didn't even go to the part-time job you said you went to that day. I'll cut to the chase. You haven't been since we were at the library together.
Cat-chan, well...
Shion Sonozaki disappeared the day after Watanagashi.
Bingo, Kit-chan! I'm impressed.
Oshi-san says you've been missing. Despite that, you've been calling me every night like this, haven't you? Butterball, what are you doing?
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was Butterball's paw on my head or your hand on my head.
Please,
Butterball,
Shion.
you're silly.
If something I said was wrong, please say so. Shion, I'm begging you.
Corner me even further. Corner me so the demon inside won't come up with excuses. So that I can't escape.
Shion, there's no way you could have seen the mayor, but if you did see him...
The only time I could possibly have seen him on that day was...
Then you saw him after the meeting, in other words. Could have been right before he disappeared, or else afterward. That's a lot of... Oh my god. It goes on forever.
It's a lot of click.
Click.
I screeched and screeched with laughter and then slammed down the phone. Very good, Kei-chan! Gold star! That's right, it's me, I'm the one. Hurry and corner me. Hurry, let me be. That's your hand. Not the cat paw for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with you, Butterball.
Everything's wrong with the cat.
Hurry and corner me. Hurry, let me be free. Was he going to tell the police, or was he going to come here by himself? I wonder which would it be. If the police came, I'd struggle as much as I was able. I'd see how good Oshi would be at catching a demon. If Kei-chan came here alone, that wouldn't be smart of him. He couldn't complain about being eaten by a demon then. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him gruesomely while Shion watches. It's all just a prank! Therefore, Kei-chan, you shouldn't hold back. I only ever thought you were just a funny guy. I never thought I could expect so much fun from you. We're getting near the end, hun! We're getting close!
Next chapter.
No, this is going to immediately go into the last few chapters. Because this will go to the conversation between, Shion and, rather, Mion and, Rena and Keiichi. It took them a long time for them to come for me. I had to wait until the following morning. I opened the gate without checking who was ringing the doorbell. I didn't even care who it was. If it was the police, it'd be fine with me. If it was Keiichi, could he defeat me? Keiichi and Rena were there. Well, this is unusual. Aren't you two going to school?
I got a Keiichi line for you.
We stayed home today.
Kei-chan is one thing, but you two, Rena? You two are such troublemakers. I laughed. Well, let's not just stand here. Come on in. I didn't think Rena would come. I thought it would be either the police or Kei-chan by himself. I'll try tricking Kei-chan into coming with me to the underground storehouse. Rena, why don't you try to figure out what I'm attempting to do and stop me? You too, Kei-chan. If you figure out I was Shion, why don't you figure out the rest? I'll act like a demon. I'll struggle until the very last moment. So don't hold back. Please don't hesitate to kill a filthy demon like me.
Mion, first I have something to apologize for.
You do? What for?
Well, on the night of Watanagashi, the ritual storehouse behind the shrine, I went in there.
I didn't expect this to start with an apology. Okay, so he admitted his sin of entering the ritual storehouse. I guess that was manly of him. I didn't even care if the storehouse was forbidden anymore. Whatever. The rule came from those who believed it was even a sacred place at all.
Mion, You called Rika-chan and Sadako the day before last, didn't you?
I don't remember doing so. If you have a reason to think so, would you let me hear it?
It was evening, before dinner time. Meika-chan should have come here, bringing a big bottle of soy sauce to have you share some with her.
And I spoke with confidence. She wasn't even trying to gauge my reaction. She was simply telling me the truth. That cleverness was very pleasant to see. Why do you think that?
It's nothing hard to understand. Mi-chan, you saw it too, didn't you? Rika-chan's room? There was chilled tofu, but no soy sauce. Plus, the big bottle of soy sauce that should have been under the sink was nowhere to be found.
What? Is that why she would have come here? Rena sure is sharp. I tried to beat around the bush, but she was confident in her conclusions. She was cornering me. She's doing such a great job, too. So they put me at ease. Okay, Demon. Rena knows what she's talking about. What kind of excuses are you going to come up with now? It's a long explanation, so I'll get to the point. The contents of the refrigerator prove the vivid account of what you said over the phone when you lured her out. There it is. This game is over. Rena, I was right about you. I don't like you. You really are just too sharp. Shion is so obtuse that she would never even recognize the side of you. That's... I had no idea I had such an incredible detective right next to me the whole time. I can't believe he'd figure out everything, down to the phone conversation, just from what was inside the fridge. You've got me there. You've got me. You've got me. I laughed like crazy. I laughed because I was having so much fun. I sensed the poison inside my stomach dissipating and felt free and refreshed. Hey, it's another Keiichi. I really need to get you refreezable ice cubes.
Ugh.
So that way it doesn't water down your sodas and drinks.
Mion, the police have suspected you for a long time now. Oshi-san's officers had the house under observation so they could break in at any time.
Kei-chan was threatening me. He was telling me I couldn't run or resist, so I should just surrender and accept my fate. You aren't doing that intensely enough, Kei-chan. Shouldn't you grab my collar and knock me to the ground? Today's the day I'm prepared to die. After that, they went easy, because they just want to know the reason why Mion committed such crimes. You all are being too lenient about this. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. Are you saying that if I can understand the reasoning, if you can understand the reasoning, murder is okay? Demon is a demon. Murder is a murderer. Yes, and people die when they're killed. Thanks, Mion. Whether their motive is to have fun, to live, or to take revenge, it makes no difference. Why would you even want to know that? Why don't you just tackle me and take me to the police? That hand is sitting right here. Look, there. The demon is trying to deceive you. It's a pleasure to meet you both. I am the successor of the Sonozaki family, Mion. Welcome to the Sonozaki family house today. I'd like to greet you on behalf of our leader, Oniya. You seem to want to ask various questions. I'd like to answer everything as clearly as possible. I then told them about the strange events that led to the Onikafuchi village becoming Hinamizawa, which Takano-san had told me before. About half of it was truth, but the other half was completely made up. I just made it sound like it was only natural that their best friends committed such a gruesome crime. Keiichi and Rena are both overwhelmed by the history of Onikafuchi village, which was swallowed by this gloomy face. Oh well, I guess I made it sound interesting enough. I'm sure they enjoyed hearing me tell the story, but you know, I'm the one who committed the incidents that happened in the present time. What was the point of listening to these old folk tales? Are you thinking it'll make your best friend's crime easier to swallow? You're just trying to satisfy yourselves. I'm a demon. I'm a murderer. I have sinned. These old folk tales have nothing to do with the The way those two listened to me so intensely almost made it fun. I told them about the people who used to make canned human meat and conducted gruesome research during the war. Those were things Takano-san told me. You too. Haven't you realized it yet? Haven't you realized that what I'm talking about has nothing to do with what we're dealing with right now? You both look so serious. You two are such fools. So that Hinamizawa village might once more be like Onikafuchi village. So that we may again be sacred existence, worthy of worship. That's the mission of those who inherit the demon of the Sonozaki main family.
Those who inherit the demon.
For generations, the Sonozaki family has had a custom of including the character of demon in the name of its successors. If you write out my name on your hand, it should appear as plain as day. Keiichi tried to write Mion in his palm.
Oh, she's right. The character for demon is in there.
Not only in my name either. The demon is engraved in my body as well. I stood up and made the show my bare back. Of course, I don't actually have a tattoo there.
It's okay, Mii-chan. You don't need to show us, okay?
Thank you. I laughed a little. They must really believe I'm their best friend, Mion. My goodness. Demon has won already. We were doing so well at the beginning, too. I eventually sat back down after finishing telling them my made-up tearjerker story. It's your loss if you all shed any tears now. I looked at Keiichi. He wasn't crying, but he was overcome by emotion. I looked at Rena. Surprisingly, she still maintained an aggressive look, showing me her will to fight.
But Rika-chan and Sadako-chan, you killed them, didn't you, Mii-chan?
You're good, Rena. You know what I just told you isn't an excuse for murder. You usually act like such a goofball, but that's not how you really are. You sure are something. You're far sharper than Shion.
I'm not saying it's okay that you kill other people. Regardless, Mii-chan, you killed Riku-chan and Sadako-chan.
I'm not trying to justify what I've done. I have a demon inside me. The demon is in my name, in my body, and also in my soul. But the demon wasn't the one who killed them. I did. Sonozaki Mion did. Rika-chan and Sadako died because Mion wanted them dead. That will never change. You're right, Rena. Come on, Rena. Try to figure out who I really am. You still believe Shion, my victim, is the real culprit. Poor Shion. I'm making Rena believe that you're responsible. That was it for Rena, though. She couldn't figure out I was Mion.
Please, turn yourself in.
Rena spoke to Mion.
We'll go with you. We'll never leave a friend by herself.
Crying children and Rena are the only things I can't beat. Too bad, Rena. I've won. I'm well aware of how serious my own crimes are. Even if they accept me turning myself in, I'll probably never be able to come back here. So I'd like you to hear one last selfish request.
What is it?
30 minutes is fine. Just let me have some time alone with Kei-chan. Keiichi looked startled to suddenly hear his name. You're so insensitive, Keiichi. That's what made my sister cry.
Keiichi-kun, is that okay with you? If you don't want to, then I won't make you.
She's right.
It's okay if you don't want to.
Oh, wait.
After all, I am a demon, and Kei-chan is a bona fide human who moved here from someplace else. For us to be compatible, as long as Oyoshiro-sama doesn't exist to mediate, it simply isn't possible. Keiichi hesitated a bit. Come on, Kei-chan, condemn me. Condemn me and tell me you'd never go.
Sure, it's fine.
Thank you. Fool!
I'd like to thank you too, Keiichi-kun.
Rena stood up. As promised, she made to leave. It's fine, Rena. You can wait right here. I just want to go around the garden with Kei-chan. If you're bored, you can go to my room. You can read any manga you like. If there are any volumes you want, you might as well take them.
I don't want to. Mii-chan's books belongs to Mii-chan. Rena can bring them back home with her so freely.
You're such a good kid. It's only at times like this. I took Rena's head and rubbed it like Satoshi-kun used to do for me. Okay, let's go, Kei-chan. The game was over. Too bad, Rena. At least this was more fun if Kei-chan came alone. If he did, he could have just asked me to run away with him after hearing my stories. Rena's eyes were like those of a judge. In those eyes I sensed both affection and observance. I said 30 minutes. She'd probably only wait for 30 minutes. If I took even a second longer, she'd call Oshi. I'm a little disappointed. She still thinks I'm Mion. She didn't manage to see through me. I thought somebody like her would see the demon in me. I guess I was wrong. Too bad. Keiichi followed me after putting his shoes on. Can I hold your arm? Such a humble request.
I don't mind.
I took Keiichi's arm. It was as warm as Satoshi-kun's. I felt a little bewildered. Do you get kind of nervous with your arm through mine? You're not thinking of, for example, that I'd suddenly put my world-class joint lock or anything?
You two say the same things. I don't think that. At all.
He was remembering the time when I held his arm in town. I think Shion liked you, Kei-chan.
I see.
I told him how my sister felt. Shion was with Satoshi-kun for a long time, but what they had was friendship. They never had anything more than that. That's why she fell in love with Keiichi. If I were in her position, I would have also fallen in love with him. If Shion was able to fall in love with him, then I could fall in love with him too. Keiichi smiled gently. I almost saw Satoshi-kun in that smile. Keiichi I knew was worthless and superficial. I never realized he could smile like Satoshi-kun.
Mion and Shion, you got along well, didn't you?
Well, I wonder. Kei-chan, do you think your right hand and left hand get along?
Huh? My right hand and left hand? I don't think you can describe them as getting along or not.
That's how our relationship is. You can't measure it by how well we get along. We'd been together since we were born. We'd been living in this world as a pair. But I was Mion and she was Shion. Mion was treated specially, and I insisted on being her. Of course, that was unpleasant for Shion. Deciding to be fair, we switched places all the time. We were probably different from other identical twins. We didn't only like the same things or do the things the same way. We even managed to share our knowledge and experiences. When he talked about our experiences, we could share them. As Mion and Shion, we shared everything. That was why each of us was both Mion and Shion at the same time. No, maybe Shion was only the one who thought that way. I was a little different than that. I was simply letting Shion be Mion once in a while. I was Mion, the successor of the Sonozaki family. I was supposed to be treated specially. I always thought that was my privilege. Just like everyone tried to distinguish between Mion and Shion, I also tried to distinguish between us. For example, one of your hands is dominant, so there will always be the better hand. If you only had one element, you'd put it on your dominant hand without thinking, right? I think maybe it's like that for us. That doesn't mean, though, that anyone would be okay with losing their left hand. It's just that unexplainable relationship.
I think that maybe you live too close together and just stop being able to see it, but I think that means you get along really well. I'm an only child, so the day before the festival, I was really jealous of when you and Shion were messing around with each other.
I think you're jealous of something that doesn't exist. Yes, we twins used to have a lot of fun trading places with each other, but now that we have such distinctly different personalities, our resemblance only gets in the way. As an older sister, I felt I was mean of thinking of that way, so as punishment I became Shion. Who am I? I never had a solid identity in the first place. I was Mion, then I was Shion. I should have just accepted that. But something has changed. I don't even know if I'm Mion or Shion anymore. Had I really been stupid enough to hope that Rena would figure that out for me? Shion is still alive.
Really?
Keiichi looked into my eyes. I nodded quietly. Yeah. I'd been thinking to give her the most horrible death of all, so I kept her locked up. I never did think of a good way to do it, though. This was a lie. I had already come up with ideas. I've already begun to execute them. I dumped the hag into the well in front of Shion. I dumped Kimiyoshi and Rika in there. I even killed Sadako, too. And right now, I'm plotting to kill Keiichi, who Shion fell in love with. I am a demon. Any such gruesome act is simply pleasure to me. That's why I felt a warm hand rubbing my head. It wasn't Satoshi's hand, but Keiichi's. Keiichi and Satoshi-kun are totally different. Why did Shion fall in love with him? His rough hand didn't make me happy. That he understood my feelings was just my imagination. I wasn't happy and it didn't feel good. It didn't. Come with me. I want you to see all of my sins. Although, Kei-chan, it might be the worst thing you've ever seen. I'm going to commit my final crime. I'm going to let you see it. I'm going to let Shion see it. When I do, are you still going to think I'm your best friend? Poor Shion. Kei-chan is going to die thinking it's you who's killing him. If you want to turn back, now's your chance. I don't know what impression you have of me on Sonozaki, but it'll surely change once you go inside.
It'll never change. I'll sit as many times as I need to. Mion Sonozaki is the best friend I could ever have.
You are such a fool. You don't sound cool at all. I don't understand human feelings because I'm now a demon, but I think I can understand why she loves you. I opened the iron door to the underground storehouse and beckoned Keiichi inside. Come on, Keiichi. This is obviously a trap, don't you see? This basement is transparently suspicious. Don't you think you should run to the police? But Keiichi was restless. He swallowed and then stepped inside. You really are a fool. We went down the stairs to the basement, and I led him into the torture room. Everyone is shocked their first time visiting this room. I used to be that way. Of course, Keiichi looked surprised too, but he was trying not to show it. Obviously, he wanted to express his shock at seeing this horrifying room, but he also knew that if he voiced that shock, he'd be rejecting his best friend, who he was trying to confess her sins to. So, he did everything he could to stifle his surprise. According to something a family head from a long time ago wrote, blood splatter has impact, despite the fact it doesn't tax the sacrifice. Watanagashi was meant as a deterrent, after all. My ancestors thought all different kinds of showy torture. It's a space for the audience. Watanagashi is the deterrent, after all. It wouldn't make sense if there were no guests. Keiichi smiled quietly as he listened to me. No matter what cruelty came out of my mouth, he would embrace me. This is really the superficial Keiichi Marabata I knew. Right here is where I killed everyone. There's no spectators for me to watch me, but I held a Watanagashi of my own. Well, perhaps there was one spectator. Blanquette.
Huh? A spectator?
Me. I, the demon, was watching the entire time Mion held the ceremony. I started to laugh. How many hints did you need, Keiichi? When are you going to figure out I'm not really your best friend? Come on, hurry up. You're running out of time. The game is almost over. This was a game. This is a game of murder. I'd killed people, using my revenge for Satoshi-kun as an excuse. The demon was trying to capture Keiichi and kill him before Mion's eyes. But Keiichi had a chance. If he figured out that I wasn't his best friend, then he'd win. If not, he was out. When did I come up with that rule? I guess it was sometime today. When did I come up with it just a minute ago? Since the two of them aren't too bright, I've decided to go easy on them, I guess. You are Mion's best friend, right? Don't you believe in her? You already made Mion into a murderer within yourselves. Why don't you try to protect the Mion within you? Why don't you try to believe your friend can't be a murderer? If you could believe until the very end like Sadako did, you would have realized I wasn't Mion, your best friend, but just someone who looks like her. But if you can't, if you still believe that I'm Mion, then you're just like me. You killed Satoshi-kun within me so easily, and you will do the same. You don't deserve to live. Back there is the prison.
Is Shion there?
You're not going to make it. Once you reach Shion's cell, time is up. The demon will win.
Shion! Is that Shion?
Kei-chan! Is that you, Kei-chan?
Keiichi ran to the cell.
Are you alright, Shion? Are you hurt?
No.
Shion screamed. I was standing right behind Keiichi. It was time. The preparations to kill the boy she loved were complete. For her, this was going to be the worst possible torture.
Calm down, Shion. Everything is over now. Everything.
Keiichi tried to quell Shion's distress by talking to her in a calm voice. It was such a funny sight. Keiichi was the only one who had no idea what was going on.
Shion, how have you been?
No more, please. No more. I don't want to see anyone else die. You hate me, then just kill me already. I'm the one you hate most, right? Kill me right now. Says.
Calm down, Shion. It's all over now. It's gonna be alright. So calm down. Relax.
Relax, I won't kill you. No, I won't kill you just yet. It's game over. I gave you enough chances. You cornered me quite well once. But that was it. You couldn't figure out that I'm not your best friend, Mion. You couldn't believe that Mion isn't a murderer.
Please stop. Don't kill Kei-chan. Kei-chan has nothing to do with this, does he? If you're going to kill someone, then kill me right now. I don't want anyone else to die.
You want to die that badly, then after I've killed this man, I'll take my time making mincemeat out of you. In accordance to the ancient rites, I'll do it slowly, starting with your excrements. Extremities. Shit. I'll shave you down and mince you to bits. I had that mincing machine set up specifically for you, after all. Or would it be funnier for you if I were to mince some Kei-chan in front of you?
Hey, quit it already. What do you have to gain by scaring her at this point?
Oh, Kei-chan, run away.
Here you are, demon. Go ahead and take my soul. I'd been living my life to avenge Satoshi-kun, but that wasn't what he wanted from me. That was just my own satisfaction. I couldn't even face Satoshi-kun, so I'll bring this to an end in the way I want. The world became a total mess. Satoshi-kun hates me and I hate myself too. I'm going to complete my revenge. I don't want anyone to sympathize with me. I won't pretend to be some tragic heroine either. I'm going to become a murderer that nobody can sympathize with. So please, grant a suitable final moment to me. A bluish-white flash filled the huge cave. Keiichi fell down like a doll. Shion reached out to him from the other side of the bars. She screamed at me not to kill Keiichi. Go ahead and cry and blame me. Don't even think of offering your forgiveness. I'm the most rotten existence in this world. So please, grant me the worst possible ending. Shion begged me desperately to let Keiichi go. I simply abused her, slandered her, and disgraced her. The more Shion suffered, the deeper I fall into hell. It wasn't enough. It wasn't even close to deep enough. It wasn't deep enough to compensate for my sins. I dragged Keiichi to the table where I put Sadako on, and restrained him there. Keiichi began to move sluggishly. The stun gun must have not worked on him too well on him. Can you hear me, Shion? I'm gonna get started now. Save her Kei-chan's fresh screams to your heart's content.
Give it a fucking rest.
Keiichi squeezed out those words. You sound good. Like he was about to bite me. Awake at last, are we? I lied before, you know. About having to want to give Shion the most miserable death of all, but locking her up because I hadn't thought of a good way yet. That was a lie. I smiled as I laid up the huge nails and hammers specifically made for the nail table. I let her hear the screams of all those people that died because of her. And after they've soaked into her very soul, then I'll kill her. I got pretty good taste, huh?
Who are you?
Huh? I'm Mion. Mion Sonozaki. Have you lost your mind from fear?
No, you're not. There's no way you could be Mion Sonozaki.
I stopped moving. Ketchum? Shit! The said naming game would be over once we reached Shion's cell. Therefore, even if he guessed this time, it would be too late. Oh well, sure. I'll listen to you. This is your last chance. I see. Then if I'm not Mion, who am I? Come on, Kei-chan. Guess who I am. Why don't you try and save Mion, the girl who fell in love with you?
A demon.
Huh?
You're not Mion. Mion was just here. Give her back.
Kei-chan, is your brain really doing okay? You're not going crazy with fear.
Don't touch me, you damn demon. Give her back. Give Mion back. My best friend. Give Mion back.
I listened to him with a blank expression. I know it's nonsense. That's shit, that's you. Fact!
I know it's nonsense to demand Mion's return when she's right in front of me. But... this person in front of me can't possibly be Mion. I can't accept that.
That's great! So I'm not Mion or Shion. He doesn't even see me as my sister. No, wait, that's not it. Keiichi protected the Mion in his heart until the end. He didn't accept the fact that Mion was a murderer. Not just that either. He protected the Shion in his heart as well. He didn't conclude that if Mion wasn't a murderer, then it must have been Shion. To Keiichi, Shion was somebody who always made fun of Mion. But that was it. That wasn't like they had known each other for a long time. But Keiichi protected her. He protected Shion from being a murderer. That's why I'm a demon and not Mion or Shion, huh? Demon, huh? Demon. Stupid. But isn't that just right on the money? Kei-chan! You're trying to drown me in my own tears. However, Keiichi didn't back off. He kept screaming. He screamed loudly so that I could hear his voice even when I was stuck inside a demon.
You can do it, Mion. Don't lose to this piece of shit demon. You're strong. Show me how strong you are.
Surely he isn't talking to me knowing that I'm the real Mion, right? He's just confusing us again. So there's no reason to let my heart be disturbed by Keiichi's screams towards Mion.
Come on, Mion. Mion! Why did you lose to a demon like this? You're not that weak, are you? Don't give up. Fight! Fight!
He's right. I didn't fight back. How did he know? How did he know that I didn't fight back? I lost to the demon. After all, I'm weak. I'm not strong enough to defeat the demon. Even so, Keiichi continued to talk to Mion. His voice had become hoarse, and he had begun sobbing. He kept mumbling, Mion, Mion. Kei-chan, this may not be something pleasant to take to the grave with you. But you really seem to want to know, so I'll tell you just this one thing. A long time ago, the demon came to live inside of me. It was gnawing at my heart, trying to spur me to violence, but I suppressed it with my reason. The demon had become quiet. I got to thinking it had gone away somewhere. As it turned out, I was wrong. It hadn't left. It was just sleeping inside of me. That was the truth. When I learned about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, my weak soul couldn't take the sadness, and anger filled me to the brim. But the insanity had stopped there. Time had healed me and embraced me with the memories of Satoshi-kun. The demon woke up again due to a certain small opportunity. What do you think that opportunity was? Such a little thing. This might be strange for me, a demon, to say, but you're the reason everything got so messed up. A tear rolled down my cheek. At the time, if you'd given me the doll that you got without hesitation, maybe everything wouldn't have got so twisted. You probably can't understand. I wouldn't expect you to. But you see, all sorts of things start falling over like dominoes after that. Soon it was too much for me to control. It only makes sense that you wouldn't be aware of knocking over the first one since it was so small. But you're the one who set this up. If Kei-chan hadn't done something so insensitive, Shion wouldn't have cried. Shion cried and talked to me about it. That had reminded me of Satoshi-kun. Became jealous of her for having someone she loved so close to her. It was very small jealousy, but that feeling woke up the demon who was sleeping deep inside of me. After that, I let the demon take over. The demon ate up all the sadness from my loss of Satoshi-kun and filled my heart with the notion of revenge, even though I knew it wouldn't make Satoshi-kun happy. Then, the scary incidents that followed dragged me to hell, from whence there was no escape. That's you.
That can't be. Can it?
It only makes sense that you wouldn't be aware of it. Even so, Kei-chan, you are without a doubt the cause. If you had nonchalantly given me that doll that day, then I don't think this would have happened. Was I simply transferring the blame to Keiichi? Such a tiny thing woke up the demon inside of me. The demon would have woken up eventually. I was at fault. I didn't fight back. I let the demon live in my soul, and I let the demon possess me. Keiichi didn't hide his tears. They were pouring down his cheeks. Maybe he was crying in my place, because I had become a demon and couldn't cry of my own free will. Can I start now, then? This method of torture is very simple. I'll nail one of these into the first joint of your left pinky finger. Then I'll nail each one in order until I get to your thumb. And then I'll get back to your pinky and nail one into the joint in the middle. So on until I hammer 15 nails into your left hand. When that's over with, I'll do your right hand next. After that, if you're still conscious, I'll tell you. There are a lot of nerves bundled in your fingertips, so it hurts far more than you could imagine. Some people apparently pass out before you finish hammering 30 nails into their hands, so... I put a nail to Keiichi's left pinky. Once I hit it with the large hammer, it would start, and it would be over. I didn't hesitate at all when I was torturing the others, but somehow I do when it's you.
If this will satisfy your demon, Mion, if it'll sate the demon, then do to me what you will.
I didn't understand what he just said, so I tried to repeat his words in my head. Are you serious?
Compared to how much I hurt Mion, this is nothing, right? Do as much as you want. In exchange, promise me 2 things. After you're satisfied with causing me pain, forgive Shion. She's been punished enough to make up for her crime of sneaking into the storehouse, hasn't she?
You, after all this, you still care about Shion more than yourself? I am Mion Sonozaki. So why are my eyes growing so damp at hearing Keiichi show concern for Shion?
The other thing is that when you've had your fill, you disappear. Give that body back to Mion. That's all.
You know, Are you not even consider possibly begging for your life or anything?
Can I ask you to promise 3 things instead of 2? Third is to leave me alive.
You said 2 in the beginning, didn't you? So you can't have any more.
That's a shame.
Even in this situation, Keiichi and I joked around and laughed. Then I knew. I knew why Shion fell in love with him. He's different from Satoshi-kun, but he's a good guy. I probably won't keep these promises, understand? I'm a demon after all.
Guess there's nothing I can do then.
Keiji smiled and then closed his eyes. Kei-chan, I'll agree just to the third thing, okay?
Huh?
Your first wish, to save Shion? That's not possible. The demon will kill her. It's already been decided, so I can't stop it. So please give up on that. I stroked Keiichi's chin. As for your second wish, to give this body back to Mion, that won't happen either. After today, Mion will never come back. From today on, even if my body remains, it'll just be a shell, because the demon will has taken it over.
That isn't true. Mion, don't say such sad things. Like that she won't ever come back.
Can you hear it? That sound. I'd been hearing a noise. I knew what it had to be. Bang. Bang. A dull sound that repeated in a regular rhythm. It was accompanied by a light tremor. People were trying to force open the iron door to the underground storehouse. You're late, so Rena probably called Oshi. That spaced-out girl, being so quick-thinking, was one of the things I didn't anticipate.
I'll agree with you there.
Really? I wonder how much Kei-chan really knows about Rena. Rena Ryugu. I won this time. Rena couldn't figure out who I was until the end. Or maybe she did. Rena didn't seem confused on whether I was Mion or Shion. Perhaps Rena could tell Mion and Shion apart through her sense of smell. She was good at that kind of thing. No way. I'm overestimating her. I brought out my stun gun so Keiichi could see the sparks. You've probably never seen one before, right? It's a real stun gun. It's illegally modified, and its power has been increased quite a bit.
Is that what you hit me with before? That's not a toy children should be playing with, you know?
You're right. Bang! They must have broken the first door. The path was complicated, but there was no other door except for the one to this torture room. I won't kill you, but I'll have to have you go to sleep for a bit, Kei-chan. Oshi will be here soon. It's only her little bit. Keiichi bit down and smiled bitterly. I paused, hesitating a little. Keiichi opened his eyes to see what was wrong. I'm sorry for disgracing Mion.
I made a promise before coming in here. Whatever happens, the Mion inside my heart won't change.
Look, forget about that. If you ever see me after today, don't come near me. By then it'll be the demon that inherited my corpse. Bzzz. Keiichi fell unconscious. I locked the door to the torture room. I locked the door to the huge cave, too. That should give me some time. Shion! Come on out. I opened the cell and told Shion to leave. She was crying. You asked me to let Kei-chan go, so I did. He's out cold because of the stun gun. The police should be here soon, so they'll set him free. Thank you. Thank you. We still have some more to do. Shion has to escape from here. I took Shion to the cell with the hidden passageway. Before that, I'll give Mion back to you. Huh? Take those clothes off. We're switching again. Here, the rubber band for your hair. Shion had no idea what was going on, but she changed her clothes as I ordered her to. I gave her the flashlight and she hung it around her neck. You go first. Find the hidden escape route at the bottom of the well. The light from the flashlight wasn't enough to entirely illuminate the way down. Nobody in their right mind would want to descend that well. But Shion obeyed and timidly climbed down the ladder. When she had passed entirely below the rim of the well, I brought out my stun gun and put it to Shion's head. Shion understood the meaning of that. Sis, I didn't kill Kei-chan, just as you wanted. You told me I could kill you instead, didn't you? I'm going to keep our promise. Shion's hands and feet were clinging to a very unstable ladder, so there was no way she could protect herself. She was in a critical situation. You, who looks like Mion, need to fall into the bottom of the well and die. I look like Shion. Kei-chan will testify that I'm the victim. I'll wait in the cell for the police to get here. I'm sure they'll eventually find out the truth from our fingerprints. By the time they get that far, I'll be hiding somewhere else. Pretty good, huh? Are you killing me out of revenge for Satoshi? If you know that much, you should have been prepared. Go apologize to Satoshi-kun at the bottom of the well. Sis, Satoshi isn't at the bottom of the well. Huh? Didn't you say the bodies get dumped down here? All I said was that if he was killed at the Sonozaki house, this is where his body would be. What are you telling me now? Why can't you be a little clearer? I also like Satoshi. Yeah, I'm sure. I liked him, after all. I was very sad when Satoshi-kun disappeared.
So I looked into things. And I interrogated Granny. I even thought about throttling her. Then she told me. She said she was only telling me as the successor, so I had to keep it a secret. What she said was something hard to believe. The hag said to Shion, "The Sonozaki family had nothing to do with the disappearance of Satoshi-kun." Shion couldn't understand, so she asked again. The Sonozaki family had a lot of influence in the underworld because of our dad's connections. In fact, they even used such illegal masters during the dam conflict. Therefore, people just assumed the Sonozaki family had pulled the strings when the dam construction incident took place. Even the hag laughed meaningfully and said suspicious things, so everyone believed she was the mastermind. But it was all a performance. It was a hoax by the Sonozaki family head. It was just a bluff. The family took the credit for the incidents to make it look like they were pulling the strings. With the influence they already had, this bluff was very believable. Therefore, people thought the Sonozaki family was the one with the deep connections in the underworld, and that they were capable of producing any sort of conspiracy. People have believed that since the Dan conflict, Onuya just smiled at things she had nothing to do with, as if she was pulling the strings. When the relatives saw that, they became fearful of Onuya's power. When the dam construction site manager was killed, Onuya smiled meaningfully. When the relatives saw that, they assumed Onuya was behind it. When the Hojo couple fell off the cliff, when the Furei couple died violently, when Satoshi-kun aunt died and Satoshi-kun disappeared, the hag just smiled meaningfully. Everyone believed the Sonozaki family was behind all those incidents. That's a lie! You're trying to tell me that the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with any of it? How can I believe that? I don't think Granny would lie. Especially about Satoshi-kun's disappearance, since she said she knew nothing about it. Because Granny approved of the relationship between Satoshi-kun and you, remember? You ripped your nails off so she could forgive everything. No, that's a lie. Don't you try to fool me. And who made Satoshi-kun disappear? Who? I don't know. But it wasn't the Sonozaki family. It wasn't Granny. You know the curse system, right? Hag didn't need to give the command for Satoshi-kun to be attacked. All she had to do was look concerned, and someone else would take care of it. That was the system! Shion couldn't say anything in response. Even if the hag had forgiven him personally, as long as he was an object of the curse, the executioner would follow him forever. Granny told me that she had tried to find out who actually was behind this curse of Otoshio-sama for a long time. But she couldn't. Everyone believed it was someone in the village, but she couldn't find out who it was. She couldn't find out? Then why did the curse take place every year? Isn't it weird? But there wasn't anyone. There really wasn't. I told you that Rika Fude tried to attack me earlier with a syringe, didn't I? How do you explain that? She wasn't just acting out of desperation like a cornered rat. She came over to my house to attack me with a bottle of pepper spray and a syringe. I bet Tomotake-san was killed with that same stuff. I don't know. I can't believe Rika-chan would do something like that. I'm the one who saw how she died, and I still can't believe it. What a completely abnormal way to go. I don't think Shion and the hag are lying. That would mean that the hag wasn't in much control as we thought she was, though. She didn't know anything about that scary drug, or if the Furuya family was the one executing the curse. The Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it. Then who made the series of mysterious deaths possible? Was it just a coincidence that something happened 5 years in a row on the night of Watanagashi? That's possible. A human must have made it happen. It was all decided somewhere that the Sonozaki family wasn't aware of. The Kimiyoshi family didn't know anything. Kimiyoshi believed that the Sonozaki family was behind it. Was it the Fude family? With Rika's behavior and the elderly people who believed her so blindly, did some kind of power exist around the Fude family that created the curse? No way. The Fude couple themselves are victims of it. How could a little girl like Rika possess a power stronger than that of the Sonozaki family? No way. It's just impossible. In other words, I had killed the heads of all the 3 families. I was trying to bring an end to the whole thing. All as a result of a misunderstanding about the dark secret of Hinamizawa. Then what about my revenge? Did I kill the wrong people? People who had nothing to do with Satoshi-kun's disappearance at all? That's good, Shion. You're still trying to turn the tables on me, huh? Sis, please believe me. I'm not your enemy. I really am not. Please believe me, sis. Shion begged with tears in her eyes. That would have affected me if I was still Shion's sister. But I don't feel anything anymore because I'm a demon. I'll be done once I kill Shion. I've already decided that. If I don't finish it up, what would my existence be for? What about the life I devote to revenge for Satoshi-kun? How dare she tell me this nonsense to confuse me at the very end?
What she said was the truth, and what I'd done wasn't revenge. It was just the curse of the 5th year. Shion, if you're truly innocent, you can go to heaven. Apologize to Satoshi-kun for me. A bluish-white spark lit up the darkness, and Shion disappeared into the well. Please apologize to Satoshi-kun in heaven. I can't, since I won't be going there. Instead, I'm going deep into hell. Jumping in this well would be too simple of an atonement for what I'd done. Until I found a perfect way to end my life, I'm going to live as best I can. Just got a little bit more to go.
Oh.
But yeah, all that information.
And yet we still don't know. So somebody outside of the village who made Satoshi disappear then, maybe.
No.
Or did he just literally run away?
No, he didn't run away, because he bought the teddy bear. He wouldn't have had money to run away with.
So was he just living in...
No, he's still alive. We know that for sure.
Well, we know he's still alive.
Yeah.
So has he just been living in Okionomiya this whole time?
No, someone would have seen him. The police would have.
I know.
Sonozaki's last confession is dubious. Did the hag convince her that the Sonozaki family had nothing to do with it? Or is that the truth? In my own investigation so far, I've proven that there are aspects of the curse that can't be explained by the Sonozaki family alone. So my notes are all bogus from the beginning. These 200 pages are full of bullshit! I thought of burning this notebook, but I won't do that. This notebook proves my guilt. I won't distort the facts. I won't burn it. After all, my life is only a notebook long. I wonder if nobody will read this. Anybody will read this. If somebody does, please let them learn something from my stupidity. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, dubbed Otoshiro-sama's curse. If you're reading this, please find the truth. That's my only wish. That also seems vaguely familiar.
Shouldn't she just be putting Shion at that point there instead of Mion?
No, but she is actually Mion.
Well, she is Mion now.
No, she's always been Mion.
Oh.
Remember, she said that she and Shion switched on a specific day, which marked them different. She has always been the actual Mion. The Mion we knew in school is Shion.
Whoa!
Now you understand!
Mindfuck!
June 1983. There have been a series of disappearances in Himizawa village, Shishibon. The suspect is Mion Sonozaki, blank years old. Allegedly, she abducted 5 Hinamizawa residents. Onryu Sonozaki, Shion Sonozaki, pretty much all the people she kidnapped, imprisoned them from June 19th to the 21st. Preliminary investigations on the incident were delayed at the time due to inefficient evidence, but by chance the case was solved rather abruptly. On the morning of the 22nd, a vehicle patrolling the Sonozaki property heard screams from the inside and rushed into the emergency measures. They secured the suspect's missing younger sister, Shion Sonozaki, and her 2 missing classmates, Keiichi Maebara and Reina Ryugu. The suspect fled the scene, thus us believing that Mion was dead. We found hair, pieces of skin, and blood of 4 missing peoples, Onryu Sonozaki, Kichiro Kimiyoshi, Vika Fude, and Sadako Hojo, in the torture room that was discovered in the basement of the outbuilding on the Sonozaki family property. Supposedly that's where they were killed. We concluded that the victims were tortured in that torture room. However, their remains have still not been found. According to one of her imprisoned classmates' advice, the bodies should be somewhere in the basement of the outbuilding where the torturing took place. All of this is actually the very same as the last, as the actual Watanagashi chapter, which is the police report. But no evidence that Mion Sonozaki is involved, either directly or indirectly, have been found. There's still many unclear... You poking my elbow?
Yes.
Many unclear points in the motive behind the incident. We now know the motive of the incident. And obviously Shion would be... All the residents would be incredibly uncooperative because they're like, it's fucking...
Fuck the police.
The opinion of a local officer knowledgeable about the region is that this may be been a lynching, an internal form of punishing sacrilegious acts carried out against the beliefs of Hinamizawa village. Stop poking my elbow! That feels weird! It's clear that this incident was particularly rooted in this region, and the prefectural police department has ordered a cautious investigation. We anticipated gaining valuable clues from the missing persons believed to have been imprisoned by the longest time, Shion Sonozaki, the suspect's younger sister. However, the incident was left under serious mental after effects, and she has not been able to waste a state of mind to proper answer for any questions, aka she refused. The psychiatrists concluded that she was in a temporary state of shock, but as of today, she was yet to show any improvements. Oh, she's fine. She's just pretending.
She's a very good actor.
She's a very good actress. I was acting at first. It was just an act to avoid being interrogated by the police. As it turns out, though, fake insanity can become real. You see, I couldn't bear it any longer. I continued to be haunted by the presence Ren and Ryugu had talked about. It was so close that it could almost touch my back. It wasn't Satoshi-kun, and it wasn't a hallucination. It had become Shion's ghost. Shion didn't go to heaven after all. She was always by my side instead. Shion didn't like the fact that I was still alive when she wasn't, so she had decided to haunt me until she witnessed my death. Every night she whispered to me, telling me to die. I get it. I get it. I shouted at Shion at my back. Though, through my mouth, she shouted back at me. It must look odd to other people. They'd think I was arguing with myself. It's not fair. Why are you still living, sis? Die, die, die already! You said you'd die after you killed me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. It's so dark and cold in this well. It's cold. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Ah, I get it. I get it. Shut up! What exactly did you get, sis? You didn't die in the way you want to. You're just running away. You're trying to survive even though you did all those horrible things. You'll never be forgiven. You're cursed. You're cursed. You're destined to die. Shut up, Shion! You're just a ghost, so shut up. Shut up! Sis, you lousy shit. Fuck off! It's not fair. It's not fair. You and I always got to be together, even after death. So, Mion, I'm gonna take you with me. Mion! Bang, bang, bang. Shion banged on the door. Bam, bam, bam. That noise is too loud. It's cracking my ears and my head open. Shion's trying to break in. Oh, shit. Alright, Shion, I get it. The perfect way for me to die is to be cursed to death by you, isn't it? But I won't be going so easily. I won't simply disappear. It wouldn't be fair for your beloved as left alive after all. I went out onto the balcony to avoid Shion, who was on the other side of the door. If I jump over the railing to the neighbor apartment, I could reach the fire escape. Eat shit, Shion. I leaned over the railing and jumped to the balcony next door. Then I rushed down the stairs, noiseless as a cat. Shion was too stupid to realize I escaped. It wouldn't take long to get to Keiichi's house on a motorcycle. Shion must believe I'm still in that room. She's so stupid. Soon enough, I could see the Mayabata mansion. I'd never seen it before, but I heard a great deal about it from Shion. She told me that Keiichi's house is on the second floor. Keiichi's room's on the second floor. I should wake him. Throw a stone! I threw a couple stones at the window, and shortly thereafter the light turned on and the window opened. I saw Keiichi there. The moment I saw him, my madness cooled off for a while. Even from here, I could tell that Keiichi was running down the stairs. He showed up quickly, with a doll in his hand. I felt depressed to see it. It was the doll he failed to give Shion. It wasn't fair after all, Shion. I'm so jealous, Kei-chan. I want to receive a doll from Satoshi-kun too. Hey, you got a me bear.
Mia.
It's been a while. How are you? Been doing alright? Despite the burning insanity within me, I spoke to him calmly. Ah, it's true. My body's controlled by the demon now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here this late. Yeah, no, Keiichi has absolutely zero sense of, self-preservation.
Are you alright hanging around this place?
I really shouldn't be.
Anyway, what's wrong? What did you need at this hour?
I wanted to talk to you one last time. I felt horribly sleepy. Maybe it's more like fainting due to loss of blood. This sensation is proof that the insanity is swallowing me.
Well,
I can't stay for any longer.
are you alright? Are you not feeling well?
I tried so hard until now. But I can tell I'm done. This is my limit. They're about to come up behind me to take me away. I wouldn't get to decide how I die. Shion won't allow me to. No wonder. I dropped her down the well. It wasn't only her. None of the people I killed chose to die how they did. Considering that, debating how I'll die must seem like a luxurious concern to be to the dead. How would I even do that?
Are you okay? Don't force yourself. Oh, that's right. I had something.
I'll kill him, kill him, kill him. I'll avenge Satoshi-kun's death. I'll avenge his death. This guy is Shion's beloved. I hate her. I'll kill him and teach her a lesson. Eat this shit. Stabs. While gravity pulls spun around me, I realized that I had stabbed him with a knife. I made it. I made it in time. I made it before Shion killed me. I got back at her. Take that, Shion. Keiichi rolled on the ground, clutching his stomach. I've done it all. That's everyone I wanted to kill. Yes, I did it. I did it. I avenged your death, Satoshi-kun. Don't you love me for it? Will you shake my head? Yeah, if anyone's a goddamn yandere in this game, it's Shion. Mion. It's Shion Mion, not Mion Shion. Yes, this is all a bad dream. After all, I was just in my room like always, suffering from nightmares of Shion. But where was I now? I had been standing on my apartment's fire escape alone. I could still recall that dream. Yes, I'd stepped out onto the veranda. My front door was still locked, so I had to climb through the veranda again. Whoa! My foot had slipped. I felt a floating sensation. After that, a sharp, indescribable pain ran through my head. That incredible pain finally cleared the fog away from my nightmare. I just slipped from the fire escape as I tried to return to my balcony and fell into the roof, jutting down out of the elevator hall, 2 or 3 floors down. My room was on the 8th floor. I wasn't expecting to be caught up here. When I fell, my hand landed right on the concrete corner. I could feel both enormous pain and the warm blood dripping out. I felt strangely calm. I couldn't sense the demon, Shion's ghost, or my grudge. I felt just like a baby, and nothingness brought me peace. All my memories from when I was born and named Mion up until now came to my mind. I recalled memories of the time I spent with Satoshi-kun. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Where did I go wrong? When in my life did I make the wrong choice? I do know just when that was. Because Satoshi-kun reminded me. I'll leave Sadako to you. Sure. I believe you'll return. I'll be waiting for you. I'll take care of Sadako. I'll wait for you with her. We'll be good girls. You left your precious sister to me and nobody else. I guess I didn't get the significance of what you said. But I'll be fine this time. I love you, Satoshi-kun. Sadako, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Shion, I'm really sorry. Could I repay everything with my death? No way, right? It's not how it should be done. I wanted Satoshi-kun to stroke my head one more time. I wanted to hear him mumble one more time. I knew it was too much to ask, and so I had no other regrets. That brought an end to my apologies. I rolled over, sending myself falling to the ground, head first. I hoped my head would crack open, take me to the hell I deserved. I was just a demon. I belonged to now. Why was I born? Why did this world give birth to me? I shouldn't have been born. I wouldn't have had to suffer if I hadn't been. What is the meaning of my meaningless life? If I wasn't born, then nobody would have had to suffer. Thank you for treating me kindly, even though I was like this. Thank you for teaching me love, even though I'm like this. Even though I was like this. Even though... I'm really sorry, everybody. I really am. I'm sorry. Satoshi-kun could give me another chance. I wouldn't make the same mistake again. Never again. Here comes the ground. Bye. Love you. Huh? I wished so many times that everything was a dream, so I wrote it down, hoping for it to become true. Dreams and cartoons are often like this. There's a huge stack of sweets. I couldn't possibly eat them all. I try to reach for them, but then someone wakes me up. This dream has been a tremendously long one. I must have been sleeping for more than a year. That's right. I ran away from baseball practice. I stepped onto the street where the light was red and got hit by a motorcycle. I've been in a coma since then, but I finally woke up. When I open my eyes, I see a hospital ceiling. Satoshi-kun looks at me from the bedside. It's a bit too perfect. But it's okay, right? It's okay for it to end that way, right? I'm sorry that I was born. I've got cat hair all over my keyboard. Break down all the people involved with or linked to the series of deaths in Hinamizawa. It's a lot of people. Tame Hojo died by homicide via butt force trauma within the village in 1920. June 20th, 1982. Case is closed. Satoshi Hojo, missing. Joe Tomotake, died. Leo Tomotake, died. Oniya Somozaki, died by electrocution. Poor Jiro. Poor Tomotake. He always dies. But is recuperating in the hospital. Then he suffers from acute heart attack. Oshi Kawagani. This is a timeline where he isn't dead.
Huh, so Rena's still alive in this timeline.
Well, the Hinamizawa disaster doesn't happen in this timeline.
Oh.
Because the things that trigger the Hinamizawa disaster... Oh, yep, see, there's the acute heart failure. Died on June 30th, 1983. Cause of death is severe trauma due to impact from falling from the balcony of her apartment. Daughter's death at the balcony of an apartment which she hastily rented to conceal her identity. Following her death, the police filed the charges against her for the 5 murders which began with Oniya Somozaki. They figured out it was her from her 200-page notebook.
This is like, oh.
Shit.
Well, we targeted the wrong Sonozaki. Son of a bitch.
We could have locked her up.
We could have prevented Keiji from possibly dying.
No, he was gonna die anyway.
I mean, if they caught her beforehand.
Bell?
Before being stabbed.
Bell?
Alright, it's lunchtime. Hey, Rena, put our desks together.
My lunch has meatballs today.
Oh, is this one of the after parties?
No.
Weird.
Sounds good. This old man will have some then. Meika-chan, bring your desk over.
I'm coming. Whoosh.
Unfortunately, meatballs are my favorite too. I won't allow you to have any. Shion? Unfortunately, I won't let you do that either, Sadako. You have to have some veggies, so I cooked some squash for you.
Squash. Well, that's harsh, Shion.
Why, squash? Don't be so picky about your food. Squash is very nutritious. You're still growing, so you need to think about things like that. As long as I live, I won't let you have an unbalanced diet. Here, you guys, have some. Steamed squash is delicious.
Munch, munch. Sadako, it's really sweet.
Yeah, it's super good. The balance of flavors is perfect. Sadako, don't eat this. It's too good for you.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone! Just try one. Take a bite.
See? Isn't it good?
Well, it isn't so bad. Of course it isn't. I've been working hard every day to get you to overcome your dislike of squash. Okay, now that's done with, why don't you overcome your fear of eggplants, green peppers, and asparagus within the year? Stop joking! At this rate, I'll transfer to a school in Okimiya. Come on! I'm in charge of your health since Satoshi-kun asked me to take care of you. I won't let you eat junk food either. Shion-san! I hate squash!
Just eat the damn squash.
Eat it!
So I'm guessing that's what would have happened if she had taken care of.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Consider from this... Eggplants are terrifying, though. More of... That's how things change.
Oh. So,
Revelation!
so that's sort of just like an alternate ending.
No,
Yeah.
an alternate beginning.
An alternate... Oh. Oh. So
I've still got
everything...
some tits to read real quick.
So everything still happens the same way.
Well, again, when the beginning changes, the whole story changes.
Oh, that is true.
Okay, view tips. Do. Happy diary. Yes, while Mr. Kasai broke in, the room was empty and the window leading to the balcony was open. That's when she fell. She hit the elevator housing right beneath, which gave her a concussion. Then she rolled off the roof and hit the ground, killing her. The reason Mr. Kasai couldn't even find her, even though he suspected her suicide, is that she was on the elevator housing that time, unconscious. Keiichi Marabata was stabbed at about the same time. Was Shion Sonozaki unconscious on the roof then? I doubt it. She must have snuck out of the building, stabbed Keiichi, and then accidentally fell when she came back. Doesn't that sound right? Would you look at the neighboring balcony again? Oshi-san, you gotta call in line 3. Oh, who's it from? Sato, apparently. He says the password is Ron? Nah. Hello! Ah, Sato-san. You must have some good news. Hello, you were right after all. Thank you. I'll buy you a drink on Flower Road. What was that call about? A mahjong invitation? Bingo! The Sonozaki sisters switched places. Mion is Shion and Shion is Mion. They made a mistake when they was supposed to tattoo the successor. So Mion and Shion were swapped around in this notebook. So then Satoshi-kun and Shion-san. No, Mion-san? This is confusing. Anyway, with that, you gain a clear understanding of their relationship. Are you talking about the mysterious notebook you received the other day? Didn't you say it was all mumbo-jumbo that could possibly confuse the case? Even after switching the names, it's still confusing. I don't know how much of the content I can trust. Even if it's true, Ikafude's death seems very suspicious. It's in the diary of a lunatic. It drove me nuts when I read it. You know this line on the last page about how she's sorry for being born? That makes me want to jump out the window. Even so...
You should jump out the window, Oshi-kun.
No, it wasn't Oshi who said that.
Oh.
Even so, this is a happy diary. A happy diary? Do you know how many times Satoshi-kun's name appears in this notebook? Shion-san really loved him. But because she was so young, a few mistakes caused that love to be misdirected. And then disowned. Which should then unlock the after party? Hey Mom, tell me, why did you have to fight with the hag? It was bad enough that she disowned you, right? You're so nosy about everything. Well, I guess you're old enough to know. She objected that I told her I wanted to marry your father. Eh? What? I was living a very unseemly life back then. Then the man I brought home was a Yakuza, so of course she got terribly upset. She said the head of the family should choose your fiancé, and I said, screw your decisions, you fucking Virgo! And then we both tried to cut each other down on the spot. We unsheathed our katanas in the living room and clashed and slashed and sliced.
Oh.
You fought that hag with a sword? Way to go, Mom! Well, I was into martial arts when I was young. Both she and I held high ranks in kendo, so yes, it was quite the show. Everyone nearby was terrified. Oh, that was fun. I see. So that's why you were disowned? That's right. I was happy for it. I married your father right away. Well, I was forced to remove my fingernails in atonement, though. See how the fingernails on my left hand look ugly? Wow. So that's why you and the hag have a bad relationship, huh? You know what, Shion? That's not actually true. Our relationship is actually pretty good. What? That can't be right. She has to maintain the family's reputation, so she can't treat me normally. And accordingly, I have to lay low at family councils. But I visit her every now and then, and we have tea together. Can't believe it. It's just between you and me, okay? She removed her fingernails in atonement a long time ago herself. Look carefully at her hand the next time you see her. What? What did she do? Beats me. I don't have a clue. Hey, you do so have one. It's all over your face. Tell me.
I guess she probably fell in love with the wrong guy, too.
Detective. Staff room? Staff room. Do you think the murder can be justified depending on the motive? Hi, this is Ryutsuku07. Thank you for playing Higurashi When They Cry, Kai, Chapter 5, Meikashi. Although I depicted many deaths in my work, I often ask myself a question. That question is there such a thing as justifiable murder? In our world, murder is persecuted, and the degree of punishment varies depending on the motive and circumstances. Having different degrees of punishment, that means we are putting a value of death on person's life. Some scenes justify murder in Higurashi. By degrading the life of the victim in those scenes, the person can sympathize with the character more easily. The degree of sympathy can be different from person to person. People who can sympathize probably feel catharsism, and people who disagree with the characters might have felt uncomfortable. That indicates how opinions are polarizing regarding Keiji's actions in Tatorogashi. In Meikashi, there's also a number of murders, but this time the main character Shion tries to earn sympathy of each one of them. How did you feel? How much were you able to sympathize with her? If you couldn't sympathize with her at all, then please berate her as a crazy murderer. If you sympathize her with all, then please have mercy on her. If you sympathize with her almost entirely, then please have mercy on her. If you completely sympathize with her, then please let us berate both of you as crazy murderers. LOL. What about me? Well, that's a secret. I'd like to reserve my question this time. What kind of murderer could you sympathize with if you were to be killed? A murderer who doesn't care about people's lives? That'd be quite a regrettable death. It'd be extremely sad to be killed in denial of all your values. A murderer who begs for forgiveness in tears. That'd be quite regrettable too. They shouldn't kill you at all if they're begging for your forgiveness. So what kind of murderer could you sympathize with? In the end, sympathy might just be a method for making the story more interesting. If you can sympathize, it's fun. If you can't sympathize, they're just crazy. We cannot put value on human life. It's a sin to even try doing so. A murder is a murder. Nothing more than that. I just hope everybody can live happily together. How does that sound? Would you agree to that? If you wouldn't... Thank you very much for playing Higurashi When They Cry Kai, Chapter 5. I can only bring the 5th episode thanks to all your support. Higurashi will only get more attention as it approaches the finale. Nothing would make me happier than if you continue reading the chapters to come. The next chapter will be titled Sumida Horoboshi. Really, I'm rather fortunate that you enjoyed yourself even a little. Thank you again for playing. I hope this has brought a little color to your life. 7th expansion, Yusuki07. That was a staff room. That wasn't in any of the other ones. Your favorite chapter is next. It is one of my favorites too. It's a good bonding chapter. That's it. There's no after party this time. That's sad. Keiichi finally got art and he didn't even get to use it. That sucks. I'm sorry, Keiichi. You got screwed over.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. That would be nice. And that's almost 3 hours again. So it's time to call it a night. So all of you have a good night. May the Higurashi lull you into gentle sleep.